watching Fox Sports, home to Major League Baseball, the National Football League, NASCAR, and the new home of the BCS. This is America's #1 sports network.
Welcome to the Chevy MLB pregame show on Fox. Chevy, baseball's #1 fan in American Revolution.
On this holiday weekend, when America celebrates its birthday, we should consider what July 4th really stands for. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. The words of Lady Liberty have never been more true than right now, and baseball perfects that philosophy. It is itself a melting pot, a place where players from around the world come together for a common goal, to play the game they love. In the ladies' home of New York, baseball is played on two sides of town, and each team has a passionate following. When the New York Mets and the New York Yankees play, it means something.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Something that we all grew up listening to from our parents, even our grandparents. The Subway Series. Derek Jeter starts in with a bang.
In Chicago, the city made up of neighborhoods, these two teams are divided by the North and the South. Both sides have proud and faithful fans, but whether you're rooting for the White Sox on the South side or the Cubs on the North side, it comes with great pride to be from Chicago. And down in the big state of Texas, the Astros and the Rangers play for the pride of the Lone Star State. So, on this American birthday, on and off the field, we should not remember what we are, but who we are. It's Fox Saturday Baseball. Next.
Independence Weekend, does that mean we are free of the madness in Chicago? Could be. Not just a series, Kevin Kennedy. This is a citywide cleansing, and guess who's washed up again?
Well, it's tough because Uribe is a 241 hitter, but he's the guy driving in 5 runs last night, including a 3-run home run. Good pitching from John Garland. The Cubs, once again, go down to the White Sox.
Yeah, Uribe just a triple short of the cycle. How about the Subway Series and Mike Mussina?
Mussina looking good. 4 shutout innings, 4 no-hit innings. He's done that a couple of times in his career. This was a ball that brought down the rain right here. Jason
right out
Giambi.
of the gate. Did you say rain? Real rain. You weren't kidding. An hour and change delay. No rain out, but lights out, because look who's coming.
The only real Sandman right there. Of course, Billy Wagner.
I guess there's another perspective in New York.
Yeah, there is. And Mussina, you know, he's had perfect game going to the 9th inning twice, only to have it broken up, but he wouldn't resume in this particular game.
All right, 2-game win streak for the Bash Unit Yankees. Kevin Kennedy, along with Jeannie Zalasko. This is Fox Saturday Baseball. The Red Sox got a lot of flack for not taking advantage of the struggles in New York. How did they respond? With incredible baseball of the last 2 weeks, their 12-game win streak came to an end last night. Last time they put together a run like this, let me think. You were at the helm, Kevin Kennedy. You won the division.
I forgot about that. We won 12
You
in a row.
honestly did. I had to remind you.
Well, you know what? The Red Sox have a chance to win the division because they've got the hitting. We know about that. The starting pitching has been great. Papelbon's been great. But what about the defense? 17 consecutive errorless games. That's an MLB record. And you don't really think about Red Sox teams playing that kind of defense. But with the offseason moves, especially on the left side, they've done a good job.
You want records? How about this one? As Baltimore gets together with the Braves this weekend, consider this. Miguel Tejada is ready to suit up for his 1,000th game, the longest active streak in the majors. And talk about your sibling rivalry. Yikes. What's the Christmas present this year from Jeff to Jared?
Well, I think Jared should have stayed up when he was 4-0 with the 1.37, and Jeff should have gone to the bullpen. I know the Angels were looking to trade Jeff. Thought there'd be more value keeping him in the rotation, but replacing your veteran older brother with the younger brother, that can't be good for the family. The Angels are going to make a move. They have 10 days to trade Jeff Weaver. If not, he becomes a free agent, and they're going to have to eat the rest of his salary.
Mama was in the paper this morning saying, you know, it's just business. We shall see. Yeah, going to Mom for the quotes.
Wow.
I think the Angels are frustrated. The entire National League is developing an inferiority complex. This is the most lopsided season in the 9 previous years of interleague play.
Well, you know, there's some good teams in the National League, but there's some dominant teams in the American League, and I think that's why you see the imbalance
Payroll,
so far.
DH, what is it?
All of that, Jeannie.
Okay.
There's no question. It's designed of the ball club. The Mets are supposed to go into Boston and be competitive against them, but Boston Red Sox sweep them. There's some good National League teams, like I said, but you look at Detroit, Chicago, the pitching that those two ball clubs have, the hitting. You look at the Yankees, what the Blue Jays did, spending money that you're talking about, no question. And some of the closers in the American League are absolutely dominant.
All right, a chance for redemption maybe at the All-Star game, and one guy who could help the National League, Barry Bonds. Fox? Is he an all-star?
I don't think he's an all-star. I know he's a veteran guy. A lot of times we've done that over the past.
Forget his record, it doesn't matter? You don't want to know?
No, it doesn't matter because
if
other
he
guys...
was retiring, would you call him?
Other guys that deserve it. No, I wouldn't. He's not deserving.
He doesn't want you there.
That's not the point. He doesn't deserve it. Jason Bay, Beltran, Soriano, they're deserving. Bay, of course, in Pittsburgh will be a starter for them. That'd be great. Guy has 20 home runs and playing in every single game.
And how about Ozzie Guillen saying he is going to Pittsburgh to win? He's not going to make people happy.
Well, both managers should go there to win. That's the way it used to be, and the American League's been dominant. And once again, they look like a dominant club. I'm looking at Suzuki right here, and of course Guerrero, because everybody else is either a Yankee or a Red Sox.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, we're going as well. Tuesday, July 11th, baseball's greatest players gathering in the Steel City. That would be Pittsburgh. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, in high definition, only on Fox. Right, had a little redemption last night for the Reds, trailing 7-zip after 7 innings against Paul Bird. Look out and buckle up.
That's Juan Castro going. He doesn't do that normally, but he did last night.
That's his first home run of the season.
That's enough of a lead, isn't it? 8-5, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Isn't what you dream about as a kid? No, not for Wickman, but for Adam Dunn, the grand slam.
All the way back. How about the Capper? Indians general manager Mark Shapiro insists he hasn't given up on the season just yet, so we shouldn't read into Friday's trade. First baseman Eduardo Perez off to Seattle for a minor league infielder. He says he's not looking to dump salaries or players, but the standings always factor into the decisions. 30 days and counting until the trade deadline. It is just starting to heat up, so let's get to FoxSports.com's Ken Rosenthal with the inside pitch. Hi, Ken.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, maybe the inside drama that the wild card in the American League may reside in the Central Division.
Right. Blue Jays GM J.P. Ricciardi told me this week, Jeannie, that he has already conceded the wild card. Now, things obviously can change, but the White Sox lead the Yankees by 6 games, the Jays by 7. This would be the first time the wild card came from the Central, and that means the 3 AL East powers could be fighting for one spot, could create even greater urgency at the trade deadline.
All right, talk about facing reality. There are some messy situations on the north side of Chicago and in Philadelphia.
Absolutely. If the Cubs flop this weekend against the White Sox, that certainly could be it for Dusty Baker. The problem is the Cubs lack an obvious quality replacement. In 2002, they replaced Don Baylor with their AAA manager, Bruce Kim. It was a disaster. Another situation that bears watching, Philadelphia. Their best pitcher, Brett Myers, is on leave after allegedly hitting his wife. Senior advisor Dallas Green is sniping at manager Charlie Manuel. And last night, the Phillies fell into 3rd place behind the Florida Marlins. That's right, the 2nd place Florida Marlins.
All right, let's talk about the tight West. 4.5 games separate the 5 teams in the NL West standings. The difference maker could be the team that takes a chance maybe at separating itself with a key move. Will that be the Diamondbacks?
The Diamondbacks, Jeannie, are thinking about doing the same thing that the Braves did last season and what the Dodgers did earlier this season, getting younger to get better. That would mean trading Shawn Green to bring up Carlos Quentin to play right field, and it would also mean promoting Stephen Drew, JD's younger brother, to play shortstop. Green can only be traded to the 3 Southern California teams without his permission, but he would be an obvious fit for the Tigers, and he also could be on the Yankees' list of possibilities.
Earlier, we talked about Miguel Tejada's ability to show up for work, but in which team's uniform?
Jeannie, Orioles owner Peter Angelo said earlier this week that he won't trade Tejada, but the reality is that the Orioles won't get better until they use Tejada as a chip to get 2 or 3 other players. The White Sox would be an intriguing possibility. They lead the majors in runs scored, and they're reluctant to disrupt their chemistry, but they had interest in Tejada last winter, and they've got the pieces, proven starting pitchers, shortstop Juan Uribe, outfield prospects, to make a deal work.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Ken Rosenthal with the Inside Pitch. Daily Insight, as always, on FoxSports.com. Still ahead, Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez can't beat that combo. Or can you? 2 kids manning the left side for the Mets are turning heads in Major League plays. Of course, 3 is a magic number for the world champion White Sox. We'll explain.
In Focus on FSN. The real reason why the Dodgers and Giants are mortal enemies. Next week on FSN.
What's the deal? Mr. Mac, pick and play poker. Just pick a play card, I scan it and give you a pick and play ticket. Whoa. Match them up on the spot to win.
What will the Mac Man do against Chi-Town Cheryl?
I'm all in. Win up to $25,000 playing pick and play poker, bingo, Lucky Dough, Monopoly, and poker. New online games from the Illinois Lottery.
Whoa. New way to play.
This month, things are heating up during Toyota's 5th annual Hot Choice event. Choose your best deal on your favorite Toyota in stock. Now with free sizzling ways to save. Get financing as low as 0% on select models. Smoking low lease rates. Or take up to $2,000 cash at this scorching once-a-year event. There's never been a hotter time to take home a Toyota. Hot Choices at your Toyota dealer absolutely and July 10th.
They're mistreated.
Am I just a little bit overweight?
No. They're cheated.
You were faking it.
Oh, don't sound so surprised. I fake things plenty.
They're defeated.
God, I just want to be pregnant already. We've been trying for so long, and I'm sick of it.
Thank you. And even a little conceited.
Why did we have the children?
Because I'm a sexy, sexy man.
Meet the desperate house guys of Fox 18. Today, starting at 5.
Of the infield. Well, it's safe to say the Mets have the best bargain. Reyes, Wright make just slightly more money than what the Yankees are paying Robinson Cano and Bubba Crosby this season. Jeter, Rodriguez are paid more than the total of payrolls for 3 teams. But which combo is more money with the leather and lumber?
Because they're exciting to watch, they're fun to watch.
Watch this kid go! He can fly!
You're talking about a guy with, numerous World Series rings.
A 3-run home run for the captain!
Another guy that, is an MVP candidate year in, year out.
An A-bomb from A-Rod!
I love them. I'm having a great time watching them.
A monstrous homer off the bat of David Wright!
I think they carry themselves the right way. They play the game the right way. They both seem to be having fun, and I enjoy watching them play. Their abilities are great, but they're very humble. They're very great young ambassadors of our game. And they're just doing a wonderful job, playing good baseball.
When you play the same positions in the same city, where the battle for the back page is a daily ritual, the comparisons are inevitable. But Wright and his partner in Flushing know they have a long way to go to match the achievements of their counterparts in the Bronx.
We're playing in the same town, playing the same positions. It's a fun comparison, but, we're a ways to go before we're at that level.
Both the youngsters have played at an all-star level this season, but they understand they have a lot to learn, and they're still a work in progress. Reyes, for one, has worked on being more patient at the plate, and it's paying off.
This year, I get in base a lot, and every time I get in base, something is going to happen for the New York Mets.
Through the middle, base hit, and Reyes has hit for the cycle.
Reyes is coming off consecutive weeks as the NL Player of the Week, the first of which he shared with his teammate Wright. Reyes' speed is lethal, while Wright's power is clutch. The combination may land the duo at the All-Star game.
You look at the All-Star ballot and you see your name up there with the Scott Rowlands, the Chipper Joneses. It's pretty humbling, but it would be exciting. The fans, from day one have come out in full force and supported both myself and Jose, and now for them to come out in full force and hopefully vote us into this All-Star game, it'd be pretty fun.
Swung on, there it goes to deep left. It is high, it is far, it is gone!
There's one guy that you're going to try to mold your game after. A guy like Derek Jeter's a guy.
So the way he played the game, because he played the game hard, and I enjoy watching him play. It wasn't too long ago that I was a kid and I was watching guys on TV, and now you have guys coming into the league saying they enjoyed watching me play. So it's kind of funny, but it makes you feel good.
Atrás, la pelota se va y despídala con un beso. Cuadrangular de José Reyes.
We have a thing at Shea Stadium, learning Spanish with Professor Reyes that they do in between innings, so I'm picking up a little bit from him.
He's doing okay, not too good, but he got there a little bit.
This offseason, I'm gonna, come back speaking Spanish and not tell anybody so that I can pick up on the little things.
I think he just did tell a few people.
Yes, he did. First time all 4 All-Star starters at the left side of the infield will come from the same city, starting with Derek Jeter and, of course, Jose Reyes. And Derek Jeter, it's hard to believe, he's in his 12th season in the big leagues already. Alex Rodriguez, David Wright, comparing those numbers, you can see Alex Rodriguez, of course, it's hard to believe for him, too. In his 13th season, I remember being back.
Everyone else is getting older but us. Now, the other thing they have in common. You can't see the ladies gathering around there because the security is keeping them at bay. We're just passing along, both heartthrobs. Jeter with some advice for Reyes when they met at Shea last time on being a young shortstop in New York.
Well, he's
Keep
excited.
Smiling, keep your head up, no matter what happens.
Reyes is exciting, one of the most in the game.
Good things, of course, come in pairs. Bad news tends to come in threes, and that is fair to say when you talk about the White Sox, Jim Thome, Jermaine Dye, and Paul Konerko. This trio makes things happen. Their collective resume includes the most homers among any 3 teammates in the major leagues. And you thought Michael Barrett packed a punch.
is. That ball hit deep. Way back. Taguchi looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. That ball high. Way back. Home run for Jermaine Dye.
I think being in a lineup with these guys in it, I think it helps. It pushes you individually, you know, to know that, hey, you know, we have a good enough team where we all can have success.
It's just great to be in a lineup where you don't have to put all the pressure on yourself. I mean, you got other guys that could handle some of the pressure and know that they can do a job for us.
There's different nights where you know, different one of us shows up, or even other guys on the team. I mean, it's not always Jim has to do it or I have to do it. I mean, if I have a bad night, Jermaine usually has a good night. It just kind of goes like that.
It's great to be in a lineup with these two guys. When you take a walk, you know, you got these guys behind you, and they can drive you in really easy.
Sometimes I can actually see the pitcher has been physically worn down by facing him.
I get to watch how the pitcher's pitching these guys. So in my case, I have a game plan going up there and hopefully drive them in.
When you play us, you can't give the same answer every week. When you play the Red Sox, you know which two guys you can't have beat you.
They're very good hitters, and I think they should get the notoriety. And I think what's been great is we're kind of the quiet ones there. So it's, in that sense, it's been really good.
I think we stress a lot just trying to win series and not trying to go out and win every game. I think if we do that, we'll be fine.
I think the main thing also is our top of the lineup's been good, and the guys hitting at 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we've had a lot of damage being done by those guys, and when that happens, you know, there's only so many places you can run. You know, you have to pitch to somebody after a while. It's all one unit and it works together.
Ozzie Guillen likes offense as far as with the running game, but boy, he's got power in the middle, Jeannie. Jim Thome, Paul Konerko, Jermaine Dye. They compare favorably with the three guys back in the days with the Indians, so Jim Thome was in the middle of that, and it's also with 25 home runs for Jim Thome. It's the third time before the All-Star break that he's had that many with 3 different teams, including, of course, the Philadelphia Phillies.
All right, hey, before we get you out to the ball game, thoughts and prayers going out to Hall of Famer Peter Gammons, broadcaster, longtime sports writer who is recovering from brain surgery. Get well, Peter. Our schedule jam-packed. At Yankee Stadium, Mystique and Awe can take the day off. According to the New York Mets, these kids from the other side of the track expect a W. And with the White Sox back in friendly confines, this time they hope to land the knockout punch on what's left of the season for Greg Maddux and the Cubs. Talked about your Texas two-step with the Astros and Rangers headed in the wrong direction. They're both looking for a boot on Fox Saturday Baseball. It is your game of the week.
The 2006 All-Star Game in HD, July 11th, only on Fox.
QC Auto Service Centers, serving the Quad City area for over 30 years.
Hi, this is Dan Elias for QC Auto Service Centers. The Midwest is notorious for long, hot summers. Is your vehicle up to the challenge?
Ensure your family's comfort. Drive into any of our 3 locations. Our techs will inspect your air conditioning system free. If your air conditioning does need service, QC Auto Service Centers will recharge your vehicle cooling system.
For all your vehicle needs, take it to the guys who know how. QC Auto Service Centers will keep you cool all summer long.
Everything's on sale during the Reynolds Ford Celebrate America sales event. This month, get an all-American deal from Reynolds Ford. Over 300 pre-owned vehicles in stock. $500 to $1,000 gas card with every purchase. Low payments and rates from 4.9% APR. 6 years to 75,000-mile warranty. Reynolds Ford leads the market in low-price quality used vehicles. And get a gas card with every pre-owned sold this month. Celebrate America's birthday and get $500 to $1,000 in gas at Reynolds Ford. Reynolds Ford,
dealmakers. Be there when the 7 couples lay it all down on the floor, then vote and make your voice heard. So You Think You Can Dance, a 2-hour event at 8, 7 Central, Fox Wednesday.
In the blink of an eye, the wife of a United States senator will vanish.
FBI!
Now, a centuries-old conspiracy that reaches the highest level of government.
Sorry you feel that way, Mr. President.
Will be uncovered.
Looks like a saint.
It's a prayer card.
What the hell's going on? He was killed, then inked.
She's gone missing before.
12 years ago.
Do whatever it takes to get my wife back.
Vanished. A new series coming Mondays, Fox Fall.
Cubs and White Sox fans alike filing into Wrigley Field on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Chicago. One handshake worth a million words. parting words before yesterday's game. Michael Barrett and A.J. Pierzynski getting together in the Wrigley outfield. Today on Fox, second of a three-game weekend series. It's the defending champion White Sox and the Cubs. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Major League Baseball on Fox. I'm Kenny Albert along with Lou Piniella. And Lou, to say the Cubs season has been a disappointment would be an understatement. They've lost 50 games by the end of June for only the second time in club history. What has gone wrong?
Well, they've really struggled so far this year, and the big reason, injuries. They've lost their starting pitching. They've had to use rookies in the rotation. Offensively, the loss of Derek Lee has been devastating. Can they regroup? Yeah, but they've got to stay healthy the rest of the way.
500 record with Derek Lee in the lineup, 21 games under without their slugger, and Lee will be in the lineup once again for the Cubs today. Now on the other side, the White Sox, defending World Series champions. They have a similar record to this point last year, yet they're fighting for their lives in the American League Central.
They're playing good baseball. Their 19-8 record in June is a second in Major League Baseball, but the Tigers, during that span, have played 20-7, and as this graph shows, over the last 20 games, they've gone 16-4 and lost a game. They've got a darn good ball club, but the American League Central is very, very tough. This is a year that the wild card could come from that division.
And it never has. Tigers and White Sox with the top two records in all of Major League Baseball. The pitching matchup this afternoon. Future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux for the Cubs, Javier Vasquez for the White Sox. Cubs looking for revenge following the Sox 6-2 victory yesterday. It's coming up next on Fox.
In this quiet neighborhood, one couple's wish for a family is about to come true. Look! What could possibly go wrong? From the creator of White Chicks.
He's coming out!
Digging his dad thing. I see you! On July 14th.
God gives gifts, and sometimes he wraps them in a hurry.
Little Man. Rated PG-13.
Baby Ruth is a great tasting candy bar. And when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle. But no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport Deodorant, now packed with even more scent. Right Guard, start right and right.
Coming to a dinner table near you. It's hot, it's steamy, and the critics love it. The new Tuscan chicken sandwich, hot and fresh from the oven. Don't miss it. Subway, eat fresh.
Here's to men, to guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
I was just getting to the good part, when Uncle Ernie dropped his tons. I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in Mushu heaven, and I had my eye on a spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete, just one and heartburn's done.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Welcome back to Wrigley. Kenny Albert with Lou Piniella. Time now to check out the White Sox batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Scott Pasednik will lead off for Ozzie Guillen, the left fielder, followed by Tadahito Iguchi. Jim Thome at first base hits third. Jermaine Dye at the cleanup spot, then A.J. Pierzynski. Joe Creda, the third baseman, batting sixth. Juan Uribe, 5 runs batted in yesterday's 6-2 Sox victory. Then center fielder Brian Anderson and the pitcher Javier Vasquez as the White Sox face 40-year-old right-hander Greg Maddux. Maddux with a record of 7-8 after starting the season 5-0. He's 2-3 lifetime against the White Sox. And the first pitch to Pasednik, a called strike, 0-1.
Well, Maddux isn't overpowering, but he really locates the well, and he changes speeds. He struggled lately, like you said, but the big reason it's been his run support. Hasn't been good.
Line drive caught by Ramirez. 2 pitches, 1 away. Our Exxon Mobil pitcher profile brought to you by Exxon and Mobil retailers. Greg Maddux in his last start on Monday against the Brewers allowed 5 runs in 7 innings, including 3 home runs. As we said, he started the year 5-0 for the first time in his 21-year career. He's lost his last 3 starts, now facing Iguchi, who went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts.
I was watching Iguchi take batting practice before the ball game. Javier Vasquez was in the same group, and with the wind blowing out here in Wrigley, Iguchi was putting on a home run hitting exhibition, so it had to be a little disconcerting to Vasquez, I think.
Well, that would not be good news for Maddux as well. We mentioned the 3 home runs he allowed against the Brewers on Monday. There's Vasquez in the White Sox dugout. And the 1-2 to Iguchi. Maddux missing inside. 2-2. 85 degrees at game time. A southeast wind at 19 miles per hour.
Yeah, when the weather warms up here in Chicago, the ball really flies at Wrigley Field.
Iguchi down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. Here are the White Sox first as we check out the Cubs in the field. Brought to you by Gillette Fusion. 15 career Gold Gloves, 1 shy of Jim Cott's all-time record. Michael Barrett behind the plate, Lee Walker, Cedeno Ramirez around the infield, Nevin in left, Pierre in center, and Jones in right for the Cubs. 2 away. Here is Jim Thome, who did not play in yesterday's game. We are at Wrigley National League Ballpark, so the pitchers hit, no DH. Thome in the lineup today against Maddux.
Yeah, you don't want your designated hitter to sit out too long.
Cubs employing the shift, and Thome grounds out to the second baseman Walker in shallow right. 3 up, 3 down, a 9-pitch first for Maddux.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
Honey, remember when you asked me to spice up your food?
Yeah?
A spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Spicy and grilled, so it's good to go.
Whoa, spicy.
And grilled, so it's good to go.
Good to go?
Good to go.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled, so it's good to go.
He's good to go.
For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
This is Duralast, the battery built to exceed the need. Engineered with all the cranking power you need for extreme conditions. Get the battery built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Attention, the Chevy 72-hour sale is now in effect.
It's the Chevy 72-hour sale. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 06 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. Only America's brand celebrates America's holiday like this. Claim your Chevy before someone else does. Hurry, it all ends July 5th.
Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by your Exxon and Mobil retailers. We're drivers too. By the new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme at Taco Bell. It's good to go. By the Power Stripe from Right Guard. Right Guard, right to the end of the day. And by Chevy, baseball's #1 fan, Chevy, at American Revolution. Greg Maddux retired the White Sox in order in the top half, so now Dusty Baker's Cubs for the record of 29-50. Their batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Juan Pierre leads off, followed by Todd Walker. Derek Lee bats third. Aramis Ramirez in the cleanup spot. Then Jacques Jones coming off a hot month of June. Phil Nevin, the left fielder, hitting 6th. Then the catcher, Michael Barrett, shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno, and the pitcher, Greg Maddux, as the Cubs face 29-year-old right-hander Javier Vasquez. Record of 8-4, high earned run average. Allowed 5 runs per game, but has received terrific run support from his teammates. And Juan Pierre on the first pitch from Vasquez flies out to the left fielder, Pasednik. A look at the numbers. Vasquez has allowed just over a hit per inning. Only 24 walks issued in 15 starts. And the pitcher profile on Vasquez brought to you by Exxon and Mobil retailers.
Well, he's a four-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, with the changeup being his best pitch. And the secret for him is to stay ahead of the hitters. He needs to keep his pitch count down.
Vasquez 3-3 lifetime against the Cubs. 2-2 here at Wrigley. There's Todd Walker. Fastball missing away. Walker batting .292 this season, but .328 against right-handed pitching. Gets the bat on this one. Coming on is the center fielder Anderson, but it drops in front of him. So the Cubs have a one-out base runner. A single for Walker, who went 0 for 5 yesterday. White Sox defense brought to you by Gillette Fusion. They have committed only 4 errors since June 10th. Pierzynski behind the plate. Tomey at first. Aguchi, Uribe, and Creedy around the infield. Pasednik in left, Anderson in center, and Jermaine Dye in right for the White Sox. One away, Walker on at first. Here is Derek Lee, playing in only his 21st game. And it's a fair ball just inside third. On his way to third is Walker. In at second with a stand-up double is Lee. The Cubs have runners on second and third with only 1 out here in the first inning.
And here right away you can see the presence of Lee in that lineup. The fastball down and in. It caught the chalk line over third, and the left fielder Pasednik really just had the ball, get the ball in.
5th double of the season for Derek Lee. Second and third for the cleanup hitter Aramis Ramirez. In the absence of Derek Lee, Lou Ramirez leading the Cubs in both home runs and runs batted in.
Yeah, yesterday the Cubs had similar situations. Man on third with less than 2 outs.
Take your time.
And neither time did they get him in. It's been a problem for him this year.
Yesterday, only 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position for the season. In those situations, the Cubs batting just .239.
A pretty good breaking ball there by Vasquez. Out of the zone. Now here's a situation where they're giving you a run with contact to the middle of the infield.
Jacques Jones waiting on deck. The 0-2 from Vasquez, low and away.
Go.
1-2. Ramirez, .263 with runners in scoring position. Just 3 for 15 lifetime against Vasquez. Walker on third, Lee at second. The 1-2. A shot into the left field corner off the ivy. Walker scores easily. Lee crosses the plate. In at second with a 2-run double. Aramis Ramirez. The Cubs take a 2-0 lead.
Well, here's a breaking ball by Vasquez. It just catches too much of the plate. And Ramirez with 2 strikes. Good piece of hitting.
Cubs have hit the ball hard off Vasquez here in the first.
You know, and he's usually gotten off to good starts. His problems have been the middle innings. But this is a good ballpark to hit in, especially when that wind's blowing out.
Jock Jones batting .303. Career high 35 hits during the month of June. Pop foul.
Yeah, Jones came over from Minnesota. Signed as a free agent. Doing a good job for the Cubs.
Spent 7 years with the Twins. 23 home runs, 73 runs batted in last year for Minnesota. Ramirez on second with only 1 out. Strike called by the home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg. 1-2. Jerry Meals working first base. Andy Fletcher at second. Crew chief Mike Riley, the third base umpire. Vasquez retired the leadoff man Pierre, but has allowed 3 consecutive hits, including a pair of doubles. Missing inside to Jones, 2-2.
Vasquez is trying to work Jones in on his hands.
The 2-2. 4th consecutive hit. Rounding third is Ramirez, and he is held by the third base coach Chris Spire. So a single to right off the bat of Jones. Cubs have runners on the corners. What do you think? Could Ramirez have scored?
Well, that ball wasn't hit particularly hard. A little bit off the end of the bat. It was a changeup down in the zone. Ramirez didn't really get a good jump off second base, but I tell you, with the deep dimensions here in Wrigley Field, and here you can see Ramirez. I thought that he should have scored on that ball. And when you look at the Cubs, they've been struggling offensively. You've got to be able to take some chances, especially early in the ball game.
Last in the league in runs. Last in the league in home runs. Still only 1 out. Here's Phil Nevin. Takes inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Nevin they acquired from Texas to help him offensively. Playing out in left field, and he's doing an adequate job out there.
He has hit for power since coming over, but it's just 2 for his last 18 overall. 1-1. Nevin in 24 games with the Cubs, batting .244. Has 20 hits. 6 of his hits have been home runs.
Home runs, right. When he was with San Diego earlier in his career, he could really hit the ball well to all fields and hit for power to right center.
First and third, 1 out. 1-2. 4 consecutive hits for the Cubs. Walker single, lead double. Ramirez a 2-run double, and the single to right by Jones. Nevin at the plate. Michael Barrett waiting on deck. 1-2. Check swing. Ball 2. 2-2 on Nevin. You mentioned Vasquez has struggled primarily in the middle innings this year. In his last start, however, on Sunday against Houston, he allowed 2 runs in the first inning. And in 6 innings, allowed a season-high 9 runs. Nevin down on strikes. 2 away.
That's a big strikeout. Well, it's a breaking ball that really hung out over the plate. That wasn't a particularly good pitch. Nevin trying to pull it. Just missed it.
And here's Michael Barrett, who returned from his 10-game suspension yesterday following the incident back in late May. The collision at home plate, and then the punch from Barrett landing on the cheek of A.J. Pierzynski. And as we saw in our open, they shook hands yesterday. Barrett approached Pierzynski in the outfield prior to the game.
Yeah, let bygones be bygones. Let's just play baseball.
Pitch out. Barrett 1 for 4 yesterday, working on an 8-game hitting streak.
Well, Barrett's a good hitter. One of your better offensive hitting catchers in all of baseball. Converted third baseman.
One and one. Ramirez on third. Jones on at first. 2-0 lead for the Cubs, although many of the Cubs faithful probably feel that the score should be 3-0 at this point. Ramirez held at third on the Jones single. 1-2.
Yeah, early in the ball game, you can be a little more aggressive. Curious to see here if Jones will try to steal. Vasquez with his leg kick is not particularly quick to the plate. The catcher Pierzynski, I think, has thrown out what, about 20% of all runners.
Jones goes a 1-2, and Barrett goes down on strikes. So Vasquez strikes out Nevin and Barrett. After the Cubs score 2, they also strand 2.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Yeah, no, I gotta go. Yeah, I'm getting on. I totally spaced on that one. That was bad. Let's just use your Capital One no hassle card.
Protect yourself with Capital One's low rates and great rewards.
I am so good.
What's in your wallet?
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers? Drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy so you can have more fun. To make your body happy. Drink more water, like new Aquafina Sparkling, bursting with natural flavors. For a tongue-tingling taste and 0 calories, try Aquafina Sparkling.
The Blue Collar Boys are back for the last time on stage together with all new material, and this time nothing sacred.
Let her carry her. She's gonna pack all that. I say let her carry her own luggage.
The Blue Collar Comedy Tour, one for the road. Get it today on DVD.
They are awesome!
I am sitting on top of the world, just rolling along. Just rolling along. Go get him, Billy.
Jermaine Dye leading off for the White Sox here in the second against Greg Maddux. Cubs with 2 in the first. 2 runs on 4 hits. Lead the White Sox 2-0. On one hop. Pass Cedeno into left field. So the leadoff man is on for the White Sox here in the second.
Little sinker that just stayed up in the zone. And Dye just drives it right through that shortstop hole.
It has been ruled a base hit for Jermaine Dye. And now you hear the mixed reaction from the crowd as A.J. Pierzynski steps in.
Well, he was booed yesterday.
At least by the Cubs portion of the crowd.
At least by the Cubs portion of the crowd, exactly.
Big Sox contingent on hand once again today. Pierzynski working on a 5-game hitting streak, make it 6. As he singles up the middle, Dye moves to second, and the White Sox with runners on first and second and nobody out. Back-to-back singles off Maddox by Dye and Pierzynski. Well, tonight NASCAR on Fox returns with Nextel Cup racing from Daytona. The world's best drivers take the track as defending champion Tony Stewart looks to defend his title on NASCAR's most famous track, the Pepsi 400. Tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, high definition only on Fox. Here's Joe Crede.
Creedy's a good-looking young player. Worked hard this spring on shortening his swing. It's really paid big dividends for him.
1-1. We talked about the Cubs' struggles with runners in scoring position. Different story on the south side. White Sox batting .316, which leads the American League. Crede at .356. Sends this one into right. Jones backpedaling. Wind carried that one a bit. Moving to third is Dye. So the White Sox now have runners on the corners with one out. Crede advances the runner Dye over to third. And now yesterday's White Sox hero with 5 runs batted in, Juan Uribe.
And all with 2 outs.
You see the numbers on Uribe. 5 of his 9 home runs have come in the last 14 games. Ball 1. Uribe in the 8th inning. Off Novoa. 2-run shot. And that gave the White Sox a 6-2 lead.
Well, Uribe's an aggressive hitter. And the ball jumps off his bat pretty well.
Batting .365 over his last 16 games.
And he's got some power.
Go. Foul ball, says third base umpire Mike Riley. So Jermaine Dye heads back to third.
You know, hitting, like pitching, it's contagious. And when your hitters are producing with men in scoring position, everybody in the lineup feels that they can do the same. And conversely, when you're leaving them out there, puts more pressure on everybody else to produce. There's Ozzie conversing with the fans again. He loves doing that during the course of a ball game.
Nice play by Walker. Cedeno for 1 to lead. Double play. The Cubs turn the 4-6-3 to retire the side in the second. 2 hits for the White Sox, but they trail 2-0.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? A single? We don't do singles! Get some more meat down here, now! Okay. Bust the meat! Meat! Get this meat off of me!
New BK Stacker, bacon and cheese on flame broiled beef. Stack it high, tough guy.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See,
I was always going. Going during the movies and hating to stand up. Going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going. And I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
World, the time has come to go hold back. Cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care. Don't hold back.
Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by Budweiser Select, brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Expect everything. Bottom of the second inning here at Wrigley. Ronnie Cedeno leading off for the Cubs against Javier Vasquez. Takes a called strike. Cubs sent 7 men to the plate in the first. Scored 2 runs on 4 hits. Although Vasquez may feel fortunate.
Well, he should be fortunate. Feel fortunate. The Cubs really should have gotten to him for a few more than 2. This Cedeno's a good-looking player. Hit 270 at the big league level. Tool player, really good arm at the shortstop position, strong arm.
Bounce foul to the left side, 2-2.
Once in a while he gets a little overzealous with his throwing arm. Feels he can throw everybody out. Out of his 12 errors, talking to the Cub people, 9 or 10 of them are via the throwing variety.
Full count. 3-2 on Cedeno with Greg Maddux waiting on deck. Off the fists into shallow right, coming on to make the catch is Guy for the first out. Time now to take a look at the Burger King. Have it your way. Home field advantage for the Cubs. Following the 2005 season, the Cubs renovated the bleachers, adding a restaurant in the batter's eye, a picnic area, a window to Sheffield Avenue in right field, some additional handicap seating as well. Remember, fans, you can always have it your way at Burger King.
I was out here at the ballpark yesterday, and for the first time I had an opportunity to walk around the stadium.
What'd you think?
I liked it. The beer was nice and cold, and the hot dogs and the pizza were very tasty.
That's how they like it here at Wrigley. Of course, you managed here with the Cincinnati Reds back in the early 90s.
And let's not forget the peanuts. They were fresh roasted.
Never had a chance to sample the peanuts while you were in the dugout?
Well, occasionally. You know, the fans once in a while will throw you a bag of peanuts for a baseball.
Well, they might throw them at you.
Well, that's true too.
Maddux
the fans here at the fans here at Wrigley Field are they're well behaved. They get a little rowdy in the bleachers, but I tell you, I never got a chance to play here as a player, but I would have liked it. I can tell you that.
Strike 1 to Juan Pierre, who flies to left his first time up. Would you like to spend a game out in the bleachers?
Why not? It'd be fun. Come out with a pair of shorts, relax.
2-out single off the bat of Juan Pierre, who had 3 hits yesterday. In fact, he was just a home run shy of the cycle in yesterday's game.
And enjoy a ball game. Pierre yesterday ran on the first pitch, and Vasquez, not being particularly quick to the plate, he's going to have to hold him. Pierre will run. He's about the only legitimate speed that the Cubs have, with 25 or so stolen bases.
25 steals, second in the National League. Only Jose Reyes of the New York Mets has more.
He was leaning there. Here's where the second hitter in the lineup's got to be a little patient. Allow Pierre to attempt a stolen base. Yeah, the Cubs, what, 64, 65 home runs are next to last in all Major League Baseball in that category.
Cubs have almost as many stolen bases as home runs.
Yeah, that's surprising, too. In this ballpark, you would think that you would hit more homers.
Only 2 years ago, the Cubs set a franchise record with 225 home runs. As you mentioned, this year, through 79 games, only 65.
Yeah, you would expect at this time to have close to 100.
And, of course, Derek Lee missing 59 games with a lot to do with it.
A lot to do with it.
One on a Walker. Ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning here at Wrigley. Pierre out at first following his single to right. Walker singled and scored his first time up. Vasquez capturing the outside corner, 2-1.
Vasquez, for whatever reason, moved around the past few years. From the Yankees to Arizona, here to the White Sox.
Well, the Expos couldn't pay him. The Yankees included him in the Randy Johnson deal. And then he wanted to be closer to home and was traded to the White Sox this past offseason. But he is pitching for his 4th team the last 4 years. Selected to the All-Star game 2 years ago by his then manager Joe Torre. There goes Pierre. The throw from Pierzynski is in time to nail Juan Pierre. Caught stealing for the 8th time this season. We'll return to Chicago after these messages from your local Fox station.
It's a primetime showdown when NASCAR heads to Daytona. Tonight, the Pepsi 400 in HD on Fox.
This month, things are heating up during Toyota's 5th annual Hot Choice event. Choose your best deal on your favorite Toyota in stock. There are plenty of sizzling ways to save. Get low financing, great customer cash, or smoking low lease rates. Like $239 a month on Tundra or $229 a month on Sienna. There's never been a hotter time to take home a Toyota. Hot Choices at your Toyota dealer absolutely and July 10th.
Item 1, Lucky Times 10 from the Iowa Lottery. Each ticket gives you 10 chances to win.
Oh, but that's 10 times the work.
You can multiply your prize up to 10 times.
I hate math.
Top prize is $100,000.
Where would I keep all that money?
Stay away from Lucky Times 10. Item 2, Fountain of Youth, how to avoid it.
Woohoo!
And pick up an Iowa Great Places ticket.
This is the Odyssey LX and Odyssey Touring from Honda, named one of Car and Driver's 5 best trucks and IntelliChoice Best Overall Van for 2006. It was the first minivan to have standard 3-row side curtain airbags with rollover sensor and best residual value for a minivan. Too bad we're out of boxes, because the Odyssey Touring is also the most fuel-efficient minivan in America. Gotta love that. Now you can lease an Odyssey LX for $269 a month for well-qualified customers.
Homer's in trouble.
I keep hearing this horrible irregular thumping noise.
It's your heart. The big guy needs a bypass.
I know I'm supposed to cut something, but what?
Should he prepare for the worst?
I may never hold you again. You stinky pants.
The Simpsons.
Monday at 5 on Fox 18.
Ray, you know, most husbands like cuddling with their wives.
Oh, they don't.
On the next Everybody Loves Raymond.
Monday at 6:30 on Fox 18. Laugh Out Loud with Seinfeld. Weeknights at 10:05 on Fox 18.
Center fielder Brian Anderson leading off for the White Sox here in the third against Greg Maddux. Like Michael Barrett, Anderson finished serving his suspension this week, a 5-game suspension following the incident at U.S. Cellular Field back in late May. Anderson batting just .174. White Sox considered sending him down to AAA a couple of weeks ago due to his struggles at the plate, but they decided to keep him in Chicago, play him every day. He's done a terrific job in the field. And there's an extra base hit down the left field line. It rolls into the ivy. Anderson in with a stand-up double, his 7th 2-base hit this season. So the White Sox have the leadoff man on for the 2nd consecutive inning. Blue time now for our Capital One trivia question. Who in Major League history has won both Player of the Year and Manager of the Year? Our Capital One trivia question. So with Anderson on at second, here's Javier Vasquez. And getting back to our trivia question, graphic which said Player of the Year should have said Rookie of the Year. So
well,
we asked,
Rookie of the Year, I know.
Yeah, we asked who has won Rookie of the Year and Manager of the Year, and
I know one of them.
Well, one hint, there are 3 men who have done it. Vasquez lays down the bunt. Maddux off the mound, throws out Vasquez, but the White Sox pitcher does his job with Anderson moving over to third.
Well, Vasquez does a really nice job here of laying down a bunt. And Maddux, you alluded to, 15 Gold Gloves. You can see why. He goes all the way to the line and throws out Vasquez. And that's a big difference between National League ball and American League ball, with the pitcher coming up as opposed to your 9th hitter. You're playing to advance the runner as opposed to getting them in.
How difficult do you think it is for the American League managers? Ozzie Guillen, for example, this weekend having to adjust. White Sox were in Pittsburgh during the week as well, and adjust to all of your thinking as far as things like the pitcher batting instead of the DH.
Well, the big thing is you lose your DH. The DH is a big part of an American League offensive scheme. And you do. You have to play for that one run. The bunt comes more into play, the hit and run. But Ozzie can adjust. Did a pretty good job in the World Series, didn't he?
Red Sox swept the Astros. White Sox have gone 13-3 during interleague play this season. To the right side, this will get the run home. Pasetnik does his job. Anderson scores. And the White Sox have cut the Cubs' lead in half. An RBI ground out off the bat of Pasetnik. Well, we've been talking about interleague play, and we mentioned the White Sox are 13-3 against National League teams this year. Check out the records of the entire AL Central against the National League.
Pretty impressive. You've got Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota, even Kansas City, playing above 500. The Twins have really been playing well as of late.
Oguchi with a base hit into left center. So Oguchi extends the inning. Only 3 American League teams have losing records during interleague play this season: Cleveland, Texas, and Los Angeles. The other 11 American League teams have winning records. In fact, the American League as a group has gone 139-85. 620 winning percentage against the National League this year.
Yeah, they've really dominated. The balance really changed. It used to be that you could argue the National League stronger than the American League, but this year here, these American League teams have really played well.
And here's Jim Thome, who has hit more home runs during interleague play than anybody. 50 career interleague home runs. Pops this one up with the Cubs employing the shift. And it drops around third, and then holding is Oguchi. So with the Cubs employing the shift, a long run for both Nevin and Cedeno.
Yeah, it's really a tough play with this wind blowing. Left fielder playing deep. Good try by the shortstop. Actually, that was Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez out along with Phil Nevin. And as you said, a nice effort by Ramirez. A double for Thome. White Sox now have second and third with 2 outs for Jermaine Dye. If the Cubs had not been employing that shift, it's a routine play, right?
No question. It would be a routine play, but the first at bat, Thome hit that ball without a shift. It would have been a base hit to right field. So you take away one time and it gives you the next.
And Phil Nevin, the left fielder, making his 6th consecutive start for the Cubs in left field, but he had not played the outfield since 1999.
Yeah, he's been doing an adequate job out there, but you know, he doesn't really have the foot speed to cover a whole lot of ground. He'll make the routine plays.
And the dirt, Barrett couldn't find it. Runners hold. 1-2 on Dye.
A little ball in the dirt that catcher blocks, but couldn't quite keep it in front of him.
That goes flying past third base into the Cubs bullpen as Dye strikes out. White Sox score a run on 3 hits, but they also strand 2.
Hey, Joe, remember we met on the elevator before we met you like an hour ago?
Oh, yeah. How are you guys?
Zach does a really good Joe Buck. You gotta hear it.
It's not that great.
You gotta hear it. It's incredible.
Why do you do this?
Do it.
He winds up for the pitch. It's a screwball.
Wait, who's talking? Is that Joe or Zach?
And he's out of there. What's up?
Okay.
No.
Okay, let's just bring it down a notch, all right?
Why don't I get 5?
You guys have some work to do in your room or anything, or?
No, all done.
The quest for independence is what drives Americans. It's no different when the subject is money or investments. You can pursue your financial independence your way. And TD Ameritrade is dedicated to helping you do that with knowledgeable people who inform without selling, with solidly independent research, straightforward pricing. The new TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
Hey, neighbor.
Hey, buddy.
Mobile Clean 5000, huh?
This here stuff's the real deal. It protects for 5,000 miles.
Tougher men demand a tougher oil.
Tough stuff.
Mobile Clean 5000. It's the only conventional oil tough enough to guarantee protection of critical engine parts for 5,000 miles.
Hello, ladies.
Mobile Clean 5000. Seriously tough oil.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport Deodorant, now packed with even more scent. Right Guard, start right, end right.
What began over 4 hours ago has ballooned into a hostage standoff.
Pick up the phone!
In the world of crisis negotiators,
I've been listening to you for the last 3 hours.
No one will doubt my strength.
they are the FBI's top 2.
All you need is one hostage. I'll make for a good trade.
This fall,
You're not going in there. You're putting yourself at risk.
everything is negotiable.
What is she doing?
Don't make a sound.
Standoff, a new series coming Tuesdays, Fox Fall.
Back in Wrigley, Todd Walker leading off for the Cubs here in the third against Javier Vasquez. Takes ball 1. Remember, Walker was at the plate in the second inning when Juan Pierre was caught stealing to end the inning. White Sox 1 run, 5 hits. Cubs 2 runs on 5 hits. Cubs scored 2 runs in the first. White Sox came back with a run in the third inning off Greg Maddux. Todd Walker singled to right. His first time up as the Cubs pieced together 4 consecutive hits off Vasquez in the first inning. Walker, Lee, and Ramirez for the Cubs here in the third.
Walker had some good years with the Red Sox before coming here to the Cubbies.
Foul back behind first.
And also with Minnesota. Good offensive player.
Hit .305 last season for the Cubs.
Good professional hitter. Gets the ball to all fields.
The 2-2 sends this one into straightaway center. Under it is Anderson. 1 away. We say hello for the first time today to Jeannie Zalesko at the Fox Network Center.
Hello, Mr. Piniella had some positive vibes for A-Rod this week. What about Randy Johnson? He could use them. Gave up a leadoff base hit, another hit, and then that would be Mr. David Wright, doubling them both home 2-zip Mets. How will the Yankees respond? Giambi up 3, zipping the count. But this will be a strikeout throwout, and it's still 2-0 Mets, top 3.
That was the score last night. Yankees shut out the Mets. Held the Mets to just 1 hit.
Really good pitching performance by Piscina.
Mets looking to break a 4-game losing streak. They were swept in Boston this week. Derek Lee doubled and scored his first time up. Foul back to the screen, 0-2. And Jeannie referred to your conversation with Alex Rodriguez this week. In fact, Alex referred to you, Lou, as an angel from the sky.
That was nice of Alex. Well, we've had him over in Seattle for 6 years or so. Boy, I really enjoyed watching Alex develop into just a superstar player.
4th strikeout for Vasquez, now 2 away as we take you back to our Capital One trivia question. Who in Major League history has won both Rookie of the Year and Manager of the Year? Frank Robinson, Ozzie Guillen, and Lou Piniella. Congratulations, Lou. One of only 3.
One of 3. Took me a while to get to the big leagues, but finally got the opportunity with Kansas City in 1969 and made the most of it.
And Ozzie Guillen won the American League Rookie of the Year award in '85 with the White Sox. Frank Robinson, of course, now the manager of the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, of the 3, Frank could really swing the bat for power, average. I used to love as a kid to go to Al Lopez Field in Tampa when the Reds trained there and watch Frank and Veda and Klazuski and the rest of those sluggers Cincinnati had. Really fun.
Now, did you sneak in or did you pay?
Well, sometimes I paid and sometimes I snuck in.
You can tell the truth now, some 40 years later. What was the trick? Over the outfield fence?
Well, I used to go out for batting practice and sit behind the left field or right field fence and catch a few balls, trade them in for a ticket.
This one drops in fair territory. Ramirez around second, heading for third. A long run for Jermaine Dye in right. The ball bounced fair, and Ramirez has his second extra base hit today, his second triple of the season.
Well, his first time up, Ramirez hit one down the left field line for a double off the ivy, and this time he goes with the fastball down the right field line. And Ramirez wasn't sure whether that ball was fair or foul, and real speed out of the box, you'd call that. He's picking them up and laying them down now.
Ball one to Jacques Jones, who singled his first time up, and when Jones singled in the first inning, Ramirez had been on second. Looked like he might try and score, but was held up at third by Chris Spire. Ramirez back at third here with 2 outs.
Well, the secret to scoring on a base hit is, first of all, to get a good jump, to have a good lead. You really shouldn't have to pick up your third base coach.
One and two now on Jones.
And again, when you're struggling to score runs early in the ball game, you can take a few more chances.
Now the Cubs have scored fewer runs than any other team in the majors.
And we know their record when they score less than 4.
As you can see on my chart here, sales have exceeded...
What is that? Small business owner. They come in looking for loans. But we only care about big business.
Quarter. Our cash... Whoa. Our cash...
They normally catch on fire like that? Yeah, let's get some lunch.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One?
What's in your wallet? Oh, I want a loan. I want a loan.
Better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? A single? We don't do single! Get some more meat down here now! Okay. Bust the meat! Meat! Get this meat off of me!
New BK Stacker, bacon and cheese on flame-broiled beef. Stack it high, tough guy.
The roaming gnome, enforcer of the Travelocity Guarantee.
Uh-oh, all is not well. I must tell them. Good morning.
Hello. Speaking?
So, you're calling to help me rebook? Because the hotel pool's under construction?
Oh, dear.
Wow.
The Travelocity Guarantee. Looking out for you even before you go.
Ooh, tingly.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? by the auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. Fourth inning at Wrigley. A.J. Pierzynski leading off against Greg Maddux. Takes ball one. Pierzynski single to center. His first time up, extending his hitting streak to 6 games. Pierzynski came into this game batting .321, 9th in the American League.
There are a lot of catchers having good seasons offensively. The kid from Minnesota, Maurer, leading the American League in hit. Barrett for the Cubs hitting over 300.
Pierzynski with his second hit of the game. And the White Sox have the leadoff man on now for the 3rd consecutive inning.
Yeah, twice now Pierzynski doesn't try to pull the ball. First time he lined one up the middle and now one to right center field.
And when you talk about the group of catchers having tremendous years, you can also look at first basemen, outfielders, and what a difficult couple of days Ozzie Guillen has had during his chats at the league office as far as selecting players for the All-Star game. Rosters will be announced tomorrow.
It's a tough job. A lot of players get slighted, but it happens every year. And this year in particular, because of the fine offensive seasons that they put together.
1-1 on Creedy, and of course they have the fan voting. Fans vote the starters in, then you have the player voting, and that accounts for a percentage of it as well. And then the manager has to fill out the roster along with the league office, and you have to take into account that every team must be represented. Base hit left field off the bat of Creedy.
And then extra players, usually players that are doing good on your ball club, the managers will take you. Well, changeup has too much of the plate. Creedy's really improved as a hitter. He just stayed right on that ball and drove it to left field.
So first and second with nobody out for Uribe. And of course, when you win the World Series, you add it to the All-Star game the next year, and you want to take 6 or 7 or 8 guys from your own ball club, but it's almost impossible when you consider that you have to have at least one player from every team.
Yeah, one player from every team. I'll tell you this, it's a very tough job.
Uribe first pitch, right center. On the edge of the warning track, the catch is made by Juan Pierre. Moving to third is Pierzynski. So the Sox now have runners on first and third with one out. Now you managed the National League All-Star team in '91 after your Reds won the World Series in '90. When you think back, I know it was 15 years ago, but how difficult of a process was it?
Well, it was a difficult process. I allowed Bill White, then the National League president, to make a lot of the selections. I took a few extra players, including Paul O'Neill, played for me at Cincinnati.
Ozzie has already said that Bobby Jenks will be there, his closer.
He should. He's having an outstanding year. Tomey.
0-1 on Anderson. You look down the White Sox roster. Aguchi, Tomey, Dye, Pierzynski. Contreras will most likely start the All-Star game for the American League. And then you have Jenks out of the bullpen. Konerko. All these guys well deserving. Cedeno steps on the bat, fires across, double play, 6-6-3 to end the inning.
I didn't go to AutoZone because I was too busy to change my antifreeze.
I didn't go to AutoZone because I didn't have time to check my brakes.
I didn't go to AutoZone because I didn't think I really needed a tune-up.
I didn't go to AutoZone.
I didn't go to AutoZone.
If you've been avoiding regular car maintenance, you need to get to AutoZone. Only AutoZone has a trusted staff, loan-a-tool, and in-store maintenance programs to help keep your car safe and on the road. AutoZone. Get in the zone.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport Deodorant, now packed with even more scent. Right Guard. Start right and right.
Coming to a dinner table near you. It's hot, it's steamy, and the critics love it. The new Tuscan chicken sandwich. Hot and fresh from the oven. Don't miss it. Subway! Eat fresh!
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
I was just getting to the good part when Uncle Ernie dropped his tons. I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in Mushu heaven, and I had my eye on the spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete, just one and heartburn's done.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Chevy, baseball's #1 fan, Chevy, at American Revolution. Chevy display outside Wrigley Field all weekend, including fun activities and giveaways. Fans participating in the Crosstown Classic Summer Sing-Off, as you may hear in the background. Some have put on Harry Carey costumes, belted out their best renditions of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Winner will receive a $1,000 cash prize. And fans have also registered to win Ozzie and Dusty's 2006 HHRs. I won't ask you for your rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
No, you wouldn't want to hear it.
We will hear the legendary rock band Chicago in the ballpark today. They will handle the chores during the 7th inning stretch.
One of my favorite groups. Really enjoy their music.
You've spent many Saturdays in the park, in various ballparks across North America. Phil Nevin struck out his first time up with runners on first and third back in the first inning. Leading off for the Cubs here in the fourth. 3-1. Uribe. 1 out. Time now to check out our AutoZone Strike Zone. Today's starting pitcher comparison: Vasquez 59 pitches, Maddox 45. Both at about 50% as far as first pitch strike ratio.
And with the wind blowing out, they're doing a good job of keeping the ball down.
Vasquez has certainly settled down since the first inning when he allowed 2 runs, 4 hits. Cubs have had only 2 base runners since the first. Here's Michael Barrett, struck out with 2 men on to end the first inning. Backhanded by the third baseman Creedy, long throw across, 2 away. So Barrett 0 for 2. And now Ronnie Cedeno steps in. Cedeno fly to right. His first time up is now just 2 for his last 18.
This period prior to the All-Star game, tough period for hitters. Weather's really gotten hot. Played about 3 months of baseball. Bat's getting a little heavy. Legs getting a little tired. they're looking forward to the break, especially when you're playing on teams that are struggling a little bit.
There's a base hit into left field for Cedeno. Wide turnaround first. So the Cubs with a 2-out base runner here in the 4th. Blue Hour Cubs in-game box score brought to you by Avodart. 6 hits for the top 5 in the Cubs batting order. Ramirez with a couple of extra base hits, and he has driven in both Cub runs.
Yeah, outside of that first inning, Vasquez has scattered them very, very well.
He struck out Maddox on 3 pitches back in the second inning. Maddox, a career 176 hitter with 5 career home runs.
Yeah, he hits the ball pretty well. But as a manager, especially in the National League, you'd love to see that 8th hitter get a base hit or get on base with 2 outs, get the pitcher out of the way. He makes a 3rd out, start the inning off with your leadoff hitter. Notice Vasquez isn't paying too much attention to him over there. Big high leg kick. He knows he's not going anywhere.
Now
there
he throws over.
Yeah.
One ball, 2 strike count on Maddox, who's actually had great success against Vasquez in his career. 5 hits in only 12 at bats.
Well, you're playing in across town at White Sox Park. Might get the idea, put him in that DH spot.
5 for 11 coming into the game today. Struck out in the second inning.
Well, Maddox is a pro. I'm sure he enjoys hitting. I remember when he was a youngster coming up with the Cubs, and I was over at Cincinnati in the early 90s. What a competitor. He's maintained that throughout his whole career.
325 career wins. Maddox strikes out for the 2nd time today. When we come back, we will chat with Cubs manager Dusty Baker.
America, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Sandwich?
Hot dog.
Pie?
Apple.
And what's your favorite brand, America?
Chevrolet.
Let's see, that's baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet, huh?
Right.
Well, then you'd better tell me again, America, because I just might forget.
We love baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Stolen bases, goat cheese, pizza, bottled water, and Chevrolet.
Stolen bases, goat cheese, pizza, bottled water, and Chevrolet?
Free agents, rally monkeys, fantasy leagues, and Chevrolet.
Whoa, wait, what's a rally monkey?
We love frozen yogurt, luxury boxes, camera phones, and Chevrolet. Mascots, gourmet pretzels, retractable roofs, and Chevrolet.
Apparently, baseball's changed a little over the years, but not America's love of the game or our love for Chevy.
They go together in the good old USA. Face painters, satellite radio, endorsement deals, and Chevrolet.
Makes sense to me.
Expansion teams, mochaccino, broken curses, and Chevrolet.
Chevy, an American revolution.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart, for your growing problem.
Baby Ruth is a great tasting candy bar. And when you have peanuts, nougat, and caramel, you don't need bells and whistles. All right, here's one whistle. but no bells. Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
Look at the 1906 flag as Javier Vasquez takes strike one. These teams met in the World Series that year. 100 years ago, the White Sox beat the Cubs in 6. "161 men have played for both the Cubs and the White Sox through the years. Teams have made 21 trades with one another. The only man to manage each team, Johnny Evers, back in the 1920s. Of the famous Tinkers to Evans to Chance double play combination.
I remember hearing about that double play combination.
I guess you didn't see Johnny play?
Never saw him play.
Never snuck into spring training to watch Johnny Evans?
And the White Sox used to spring train right in Tampa also. Moved to Sarasota. And now they're out in Arizona, Tucson.
2-2 for Maddox. Vasquez fouls it off. Vasquez helped his own cause in the 3rd inning with a runner on second. Anderson, he sacrificed him over to third. And then Anderson wound up scoring the White Sox only run.
Yeah, you can really help yourself as a pitcher in the National League when you can handle the bat.
Now a base hit for Vasquez. A career .214 hitter. And the White Sox have the leadoff man on yet again. Well, we chatted between innings with Cubs manager Dusty Baker, and we asked Dusty about this season's frustrations with all of the injuries the Cubs have suffered through.
Well, we'd be in a much better position than we are now, because as you see in our division, if you're 500 or better, even close, you got a outstanding chance. So, I mean, D. Lee is our Golden Glove first baseman, our second best base stealer, our main man, offensively, and Wood and Pryor, 2 of our big 3 guys. And so, we'd be in much better position than we are now.
Yeah, Dust, it's hard to win with young pitching. You've had to pitch a lot of rookie pitchers, haven't you?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think we've had 6 or 7 or whatever it is, and we've used 11 starters already. And the thing about rookie pitchers, they'll be good on one start and then, not so good on the next one. And you need some innings. I mean, you need some guys you can count on to go deep in the ball game, because it's really taxed our bullpen. But, a couple of our young guys have, pitched pretty good, and, some of them haven't.
Dusty, thanks for joining us.
All right,
good luck, fella.
All right, Big Lou. See you later.
Thanks.
All right.
Ascending with a drive deep right field, and the catch is made on the warning track by Jones for the first out of the inning. And Dusty referring to the 29 starts that have been made by rookie pitchers. Only the Florida Marlins have used rookies in more starting situations this season.
Yeah, last year they used 7 all last year. Here you see Jones going back to the warning track. That ball really carried with the wind blowing out to right center field.
Verducci fouls it back.
Yeah, with young pitching, boy, they are inconsistent. They can give you a really, really good ball game, and then they can struggle. But you have to learn. When you have injuries, you've got no choice. Bring up youngsters and let them get their feet wet and learn to pitch up at the big league level.
Sean Marshall, who pitched in Double-A last season, the starter in yesterday's game, took the loss. He's now 4-7. Mark Pryor has made only 3 starts. Look at some of the other rookie starters for the Cubs this year. Kerry Wood on the DL. The 1-1 to Aguchi, now 1-2. Carlos Zambrano could potentially represent the Cubs in the All-Star game. He's had a terrific year, leads the National League in strikeouts, his 6th in earned run average.
Really good stuff. Just a dominant power type pitcher that really comes at you.
He will pitch for the Cubs tomorrow in the series finale against Mark Burley. When you talk about the Cubs and their struggles, the rookies that have made starts this year, on the other side, a veteran rotation led by Contreras, Garland, Burley, Freddie Garcia, who pitched for you, and Javier Vasquez.
Yeah, there isn't anything like that in baseball. That's why you really like the White Sox chances. Experience, they can match up against other teams, 1, 2, 3 starters. They've been through the wars. You know, they're durable. They give you innings.
But then again, they will have to go all out to win this division with the way the Tigers are playing. Twins have been hot. Noguchi down on strikes. Third strikeout for Greg Maddux.
And Cleveland, to me, should get better as the year progresses. They've gotten off to a rough start, but they've got good talent over there.
They were the best team in baseball over the last 2 months in 2005. You know, the White Sox, we referred to this earlier, they are only 2 games behind their pace of last year. Last year at this time, after 79 games, they were 54-25. This year, 52-27. The big difference, right now they're 2.5 out. Last year, there were 9.5 games in front.
Yeah, they had an insurmountable lead at this time.
Inside to Tomey, ball 1. Jim Tomey grew up in Peoria, Illinois. Attended many Cubs games here at Wrigley as a youngster.
Yeah, talking to him, he was really happy to come back here with the White Sox. Really loves the area. Saw a lot of Major League Baseball growing up here.
.455 career home runs, which is 28th on the all-time list.
Yeah, he's really flourished here in the American League. I think his style of hitting is a little more conducive to this league than it is to the National League.
12 years in Cleveland, spent the last 3 in the National League with the Phillies. 2-2. How about Vasquez? He's been out on the base paths now for a while. How will that affect Vasquez?
Well, you know, he's had trouble middle part of the ball games. He hasn't had to run anywhere. He's just staying on first, but sometimes that can have an effect on you.
Led off the inning with a base hit. Now 2 away on the 2-2. Tomey lifts this one into deep center. Jones on the warning track. It carries out of here. 2-run home run. Jim Tomey, the 456th of his career. The White Sox take a 3-2 lead.
And here's what Tomey does and does well. He gets the ball right down dead center. You can see Maddux knew he made a bad pitch, although he thought that ball possibly would stay in the ballpark.
And now Jermaine Dye grounds out to the third baseman Ramirez, but the White Sox take their first lead of the game, number 26 for Tomey.
Your SUV is designed to go off-road, but sometimes the off-road comes to you. Introducing the new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology, made with SUV drivers in mind. A layer made with Kevlar means the Forterra is tough and rugged, and extra cushioning means the Forterra rides quietly and comfortably. The new Goodyear Forterra with silent armor technology. Go confidently on the wings of Goodyear.
It's a fact. The more we learn about how to take care of ourselves and our families, the longer and healthier our lives become. That's why more people turn to WebMD than any other health information source. It's a place where people find answers to health questions with an ease never before possible, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can finally forge a link between better information and better health. WebMD.
Subway Dinner Theatre presents On My Own.
Edgy. And for dinner, Subway restaurants. And the new Tuscan chicken, hot and fresh from the oven. Tender chicken, melted cheese, grilled vegetables on freshly baked bread.
Subway! Eat fresh!
When immigrants landed at Ellis Island, they brought a dream. Work hard, opportunity will follow. At TD Ameritrade, it's no different today. You bring your own drive to succeed, they'll help in every way. With people who'll sit and talk with you about your strategy, solidly independent research, straightforward pricing. The new TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Goodyear's new Eagle with Response Edge technology. By WebMD, better information, better health. And by Subway Restaurants. Subway, eat fresh. The White Sox out on top by a run, following Jim Thome's 2-run homer. His 51st interleague home run, more than any other player.
Yeah, Maddox thought he had Thome. That ball just carried.
Now, Thome took Maddox deep in their last meeting back on May 19th at U.S. Cellular Field. Top of the order for the Cubs, Juan Pierre leading off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, you can see Maddox's reaction right here. He's just walking off the mound thinking it's out number 3, but didn't happen.
And now Juan Pierre leads off the bottom of the inning with his second hit of the game. Yeah, Maddox thought the inning would be over with Jones drifting back, and the wind carried it out. You're still thinking about it.
Can't believe it, right? I'll tell you, when a big, strong guy like Thome gets a hold of a ball and gets it up in that air jet stream, it's going to go.
Juan Pierre on first. Remember, he was caught stealing back in the second inning. Todd Walker at the plate. He takes a called strike. 0-1. Walker 1 for 2, singled back in the first inning and fly to center. Pierre with 25 steals. He's been caught 8 times. White Sox leading the Cubs 3-2. Bottom of the 5th inning from Wrigley. We chatted with Dusty Baker during the last inning about some of the Cubs' struggles. Injuries have certainly played a part. Here at home during the month of June, and today, of course, July 1st, so the month ended yesterday, the Cubs went 1-11. The first month ever in which the Cubs played at least 10 home games and won only 1.
That's a very tough month.
.50 losses by the end of June for only the second time. It happened back in 1962.
Well, when you have injuries to key people, and when you lose that big thumper right in the middle part of your lineup, losses can come in a hurry, and they have. One thing about Dusty, he's not a quitter, and he's working hard to get his ball club back on track. And hopefully, if they stay healthy the rest of the year, they can do just that.
And their general manager, Jim Hendry, said pretty much the same thing this past week. He said, I want to give Dusty every opportunity to manage the club and help us get out of this hole when we get healthier. Andrew said Dusty's going to get every opportunity to manage now that we're getting healthier and hopefully get a better club out there for him.
Well, you need the horses as a manager, and you need your horses to stay healthy. It's a good count to put the game in motion a little bit. 2-2. Vasquez throws strikes.
Here holds, and Walker sends this one to deep center, but it stays in the ballpark. Catch is made on the warning track by Anderson. One away. We spoke to White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen between innings and asked Ozzie about the All-Star selection process.
Well, it's tough because sometimes you have to pick some people who should be there, and they can't because they're spot on the roster. You have to, every member and every club, they have to be represent. And it's a lot of heat. It's not easy to do it because there's a lot of guys left out and they should be there.
Ozzie, you guys are playing darn good baseball against the National League. You must like managing against the National League.
I like to manage against the National League when we're playing in my house. You know what I mean? Coming to different ballpark, you lose your DH. It's kind of tough because I could have played Tommy like 6 out of the 9 games, the last 9 games. And but we played good against the last 2 years, 3 years, and we're doing a pretty good job. And you know, we face a lot of tough team, and hopefully we continue when we play back to American League.
Okay, thank you, Ozzie.
All right, guys.
All right, Ozzie.
All right,
Ozzie says he would rather manage against the National League in his house in U.S. Cellular Field. However, his White Sox have gone 6-1 in National League ballparks this season.
Well, when you can get good pitching, that's the key. You can win anyway. That's exactly what the White Sox have done. Plus, they're playing outstanding defensive ball. I think they've made 4 errors here in the past 3 weeks or so. That really helps your pitching. And then they're hitting home runs with a lot of consistency.
Got a look at Garcia. There's Burley in the White Sox dugout. Jose Contreras, who has won his last 16 decisions. Now 1-2 on Derek Lee.
That was a good pitch by Vasquez. Good fastball right in on the inside part of the plate. Here it is here. You can see the catcher Barrett sitting inside. Low fastball with some tail and got the inside corner.
The 1-2 and Lee with a base hit into right field. Pierre holds at second. So the Cubs with 2 on, only 1 out.
And here's really good hitting by Lee. Just goes right with the pitch with 2 strikes and lines it to right field. You can see why this guy won a batting title last year. And you can see how much he means to the Cub offense.
His second hit today, scored a run back in the first. How about the Mets leading the Yankees in the 4th, 7-2.
Yeah, I saw Randy Johnson pitch last Tuesday in New York against at Yankee Stadium against Atlanta, and he really pitched well that day.
On the lose again today, trailing the Mets 7-2. Here's Aramis Ramirez, who has doubled and tripled in today's game, has driven in both Cubs runs. You talk about pitchers over the age of 40. There are 7 still active starting pitchers over 40, including Greg Maddux on the mound for the Cubs today. Randy Johnson has had an up-and-down year, but he has won 9 games. Kenny Rogers with 10 wins for the Tigers. Tom Glavine with 11 wins for the Mets.
You can see the importance of experience in the pitching department. Now, you're talking about awfully good pitchers with great records, with great careers, but I've never remember this many 40-plus guys.
Ramirez, deep left field. 3-run home run, Aramis Ramirez. He has doubled, tripled, and now homered today. Home run number 15 for Ramirez. 5-3 Cubs.
Well, with the wind blowing out, it's just a matter of time till these hitters start getting hot. And that's exactly what Ramirez does here. Gets a breaking ball out over the plate.
And now John Jones rounds out to the shortstop, Uribe, for the second out. Aramis Ramirez has driven in all 5 Cubs runs.
Well, he's 3/4 of the way to the cycle with the easiest. Single is all he needs. Yeah, we had talked about Vasquez struggling with the lineup the third time around, and that's exactly what's happened here this inning.
There's Phil Nevin 0 for 2 today. Ramirez one shy of his career high. He drove in 6 runs in a game twice, both while a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, that ball sailed totally out of Wrigley Field.
Juan Uribe had 5 runs batted in for the White Sox yesterday. Ramirez with 5 for the Cubs today. And we are only in the 5th inning. Nevin finds the gap in left center. 4th hit of the inning for the Cubs.
Good piece of hitting there by Nevin. He stayed on that breaking ball. Wasn't in a bad location, but Nevin just reached out and poked it over shortstop.
Here's Michael Barrett. Barrett 0 for 2. He's the only Cubs starter aside from Maddox without a base hit.
You know, when you score 2 runs like the White Sox did in the top half of the 5th, you would like to see if you can shut the other team down, keep the momentum on your side. But boy, the Cubs came back.
Bounce foul back behind third.
Keeps the crowd in the game.
The 0-2 to Barrett. Fell back to the screen. Vasquez gave up a season-high 9 runs in his last start on 10 hits. He has tied a season-high today, having allowed 11 base hits. 4 in this inning.
Well, he's won 8 ball games, but he does have a high ERA, so he's been getting good run support. And today, he's got
best run support in the league. Aguchi, Tomey, inning over. But the Cubs have taken a 5-3 lead. A 3-run shot off the bat of Aramis Ramirez, who has driven in all 5 Cub runs.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
So I got a promotion. Wow.
Hey, big office?
At Bank of America, you'll find our managers out front in the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Pretty big.
Does it have a window?
Huge.
There to assist you with your needs and get you on your way.
Manager? Just be careful you don't lose touch with your customers.
Wouldn't worry about that one, Dad. Hang there.
Expert personal attention. Another example of higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Baby Ruth is the candy bar for baseball guys. Guys who like peanuts, nougat, and caramel every bit as much as a grand slam. And if you're a woman who likes that stuff, want to go to a ball game? Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
This is Duralast, the alternator built to exceed the need. Built with the technology to withstand high electrical demands. Get the alternator built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Hey, neighbor.
Hey, buddy.
Mobile Clean 5000, huh?
This here stuff's the real deal. It protects for 5,000 miles.
Tougher men demand a tougher oil.
Tough stuff.
Mobile Clean 5000. It's the only conventional oil tough enough to guarantee protection of critical engine parts for 5,000 miles.
Hello, ladies.
Mobile Clean 5000. Seriously tough oil.
Fellas, I'm just waiting for an email. I'll be just a minute.
No problem. So, by the way, great job today.
I mean, it wasn't too hard.
Yeah. Was that your email notification?
Yeah.
I never had you pegged for a quack guy.
You don't think it's funny?
It's really funny.
Oh, it is funny, yeah. I like ducks.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport.
The Cubs back out on top. They lead the White Sox 5-3 as we start the 6th inning at Wrigley. A.J. Pierzynski leading off against Greg Maddux. Pierzynski is 2 for 2. Pops this one up to the left side. Under it is the shortstop Cedeno, and he makes the catch. Nearly had some trouble. What a wait time now for our Pepsi fan cam. Shot, and this one is out of here. We just saw a montage of Cub fans sitting with White Sox fans, and
they
the White Sox fans can be friends with the Cubs fans at times, but right now the White Sox fans are on their feet. Home run number 15, Joe Creedy.
Creedy gets a high fastball here, and there's really no doubt about this one. Just beautiful extension.
All of a sudden, 3 home runs the last 11 batters.
Well, you were sort of expecting that. The wind blowing out, ball carrying very well.
Uribe rips one foul. 1-2. Little switcheroo, Lou. That's the fan who caught the home run ball, which it looks like he kept and threw a different ball back onto the field. Did he hand it off to his friend and then throw a batting practice ball onto the outfield?
Well, that's a guy that has a little smarts.
Yeah. He wants to keep the real thing.
Didn't spill his beer either.
Multi-talented. Now he's calling his friends to tell him about it. Or one of his friends is calling him because they just saw him on Fox. Let's go back to that fan. Is he still on the phone? Let's see. If you're at home watching and you're on the phone with this gentleman, tell him to wave. Tell him to wave to us. Let's see if he's actually on the phone with someone who is watching the game. Give us a wave.
He's having a nice time.
No wave. Call him back. Slow roller. Here's Ramirez. 2 out. By the way, speaking of Ramirez, his home run in the bottom of the 5th inning, the 12,000th home run in Cubs history.
That's a lot of home runs. A lot of great hitters have played in this ballpark. I remember Ernie Banks as a youngster. Billy Williams, Andre Dawson.
He was in the ballpark yesterday.
He looks great, doesn't he?
Handled, take me out to the ball game during the 7th inning stretch. Ryan Anderson at the plate, and Paul Konerko has come out on deck with the pitcher Vasquez due up next.
Ron Santo does the Cub games.
Anderson flies out to Pierre. White Sox, another run on the Creedy homer.
Attention, the Chevy 72-hour sale is now in effect.
It's the Chevy 72-hour sale. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 06 Chevy car, truck, and SUV. Only America's brand celebrates America's holiday like this. Claim your Chevy before someone else does. Hurry, it all ends July 5th.
Whoa. These spicy chicken Crunchwrap Supremes are spicy.
Spicy and grilled, so they're good to go.
Spicy and good to go. Have a sip of my soda. Or so tasty, I'm good to go get another one.
Or good to go get a job.
The new Spicy Chicken Crunchwrap Supreme. Shredded chicken simmered in Mexican spices with melty, crunchy, cool Taco Bell tastes. Loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled so it's good to go. For a spicier way to go, think outside the bun.
Hey, Rod, if you're interested, there's a future for you in the beverage distribution industry.
Finding his socks on the floor. The Newlyweds.
It's like having a little boy in the house.
The not-so-newlyweds.
That is going to happen every time.
Emmy winner Brad Garrett stars in Till Death, a new comedy coming Thursdays, Fox Fall.
Well, it's been a long day for Strahan.
What a lovely shot.
Hey, maybe it's your deodorant. Let's start over. No, this time start with new Right Guard Sport Deodorant, now packed with even more scent. Right Guard, start right and right.
Bottom of the 6th here at Wrigley. Ronnie Cedeno steps in against Javier Vasquez. The White Sox were going to pinch hit for Vasquez in the last half inning, but Anderson, the number 8 hitter, made the final out. So Vasquez remains in. 92 pitches over the first 5. On the ground to the shortstop, Uribe. High throw. And Cedeno is safe. Oh, that one got away from Juan Uribe.
Well, Cedeno can get down the line a little bit. Uribe a little nonchalant. Ball just sails on him.
Not even Jim Thome able to come down with that one.
Yeah, wasn't too pleased. Cedeno's really hustling down the line, which makes the shortstop rush the play a little bit.
Now Greg Maddux, who has struck out twice.
Well, he'll be up there bunting now.
They'll try and advance the runner. Bunted foul, 0-1. 9 runs, 21 hits in the game, yet both starters still in there. Maddux has thrown 78 pitches through 6. Vasquez 92 through 5.
Well, both ends are working, so I don't think Ozzy's going to go too much further with Vasquez.
Especially considering Vasquez scheduled to lead off in the 7th. 1-1 now on Maddux. The story for the Cubs today, Aramis Ramirez has driven in all 5 runs. A 2-run double in the first. He tripled in the 3rd, homered in the 5th. All he needs is a single for the first Cubs cycle since Mark Grace did it back in '93.
That's a while back.
Bounces foul, 1-2.
So at 2 strikes here, Maddox will still be trying to get the runner over. You know, at age 40 years old, his hitting has tailed off a little bit.
He has stolen a base this year, though. At the age of 40.
It's pretty impressive.
Oldest pitcher to steal a base since Orel Hershiser. Runner goes, Maddox swings, fouls it off.
It's good aggressive baseball by the Cubs. You got the first baseman charging, third baseman charging. Maddox can handle the bat. Yeah, you can see both infielders charging. Runner just takes off on the pitch.
Maddox squares the bunch. Daniel goes, and Maddox fouls it off. Maddox looking down for the signs from third base coach Chris Spire.
Curious to see here if Ozzie pitches out. See the catcher with his little wiggle of the thumb there to throw over. Most of these throw-overs and pitch-outs called by the manager in the dugout.
There's the pitch out.
Cat and mouse going on here. We're talking about pitchers that can handle the bat a little bit. What an advantage.
Daniel goes, Maddox strikes out, throw to second is in time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Well, Cedeno's going on the pitch. Maddox just swings over it. Brzezinski with a good throw. Nice tag. Quick tag by Uribe. That's what you want to see an infielder do. Now you see the umpire, Jerry Meals.
Ozzie Guillen visited the mound and chatted with Vasquez, who will stay in the game to face Juan Pierre.
Yeah, Dusty wasn't very happy. Maybe the base runner missed a sign.
Pierre with a couple of base hits today. Scored a run back in the fifth. That strikeout, as you see, the 1,500th of Vasquez's career. Pierre walks on 4 pitches. So the Cubs with a 2-out base runner as we check in once again with Jeannie Zalasko in Los Angeles. Jeannie?
Well, earlier this week, Joe Torre said he truly believed Randy Johnson was back to being Randy Johnson. But today, the door's coming off in the 4th. Not getting help from Melky Cabrera. Jose Rios single to throw home to Bergen County. Yikes. Next up, Paul LaDuca thinks he's found the weak spot. Melky not even going to try it this time. 2-run score, a 5-run 4th. 7-2 Mets, bottom 5.
All right, thanks, Jeannie. Mets looking to break that 4-game losing streak.
I'm pretty sure that Ozzie would get Vasquez if he weren't leading off the inning.
How about the names that he is joined by? Most strikeouts since 2000. This ball 1 to Todd Walker. Vasquez since 2000 in the top 5 along with Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Curt Schilling, and Roger Clemens.
That's an impressive list.
4 future Hall of Famers. One ball, 1 strike to count on Walker. Pierre on base for the 3rd time today. He was caught stealing back in the 2nd inning with Walker at the plate. Walker is 1 for 3. Right to the shortstop, Uribe. We'll return to Chicago after these messages from your local Fox station.
It's a primetime showdown when NASCAR heads to Daytona. Tonight, the Pepsi 400 in HD on Fox.
With gas prices the way they are, we'd like to take this moment to add a helpful little reminder. The Honda Pilot is the most fuel-efficient 8-passenger SUV. Now you can lease a Pilot for $279 a month for well-qualified customers.
Item 1, lucky times 10 from the Iowa Lottery. Each ticket gives you 10 chances to win.
Oh, but that's 10 times the work.
You can multiply your prize up to 10 times.
I hate math.
Top prize is $100,000.
Where would I keep all that money?
Stay away from lucky times 10. Item 2, Fountain of Youth, how to avoid it.
Woohoo!
And pick up an Iowa Great Places ticket.
I found it.
I found it.
You know.
I found value.
You bet I found it.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Right now at Farm and Fleet, you'll save on the Flowtech 1/2 horsepower convertible jet pump. It's $159.99. Pick up a Moonrays 6-light solar light set. It's just $19.99. And save on select Duracell alkaline batteries. Your choice, only $4.89.
I found it.
We found it. I found value at Farm and Fleet.
Fox 18 and B100 announced the return of Quad City Idol this July. The only local talent show with a guaranteed American Idol audition is back. First round auditions are July 8th at Pleasure Pools and Spas in Davenport and July 15th at Ashley Furniture in Moline. With a final round, July 22nd at Doll Ford in Davenport. Quad City Idol is back, starting July 8th. Brought to you by Pleasure Pools and Spas, Ashley Furniture, Doll Ford, B100, and Fox 18. For more details, log on to KLJB.com. Laugh out loud with Everybody Loves Raymond. Weeknights on Fox 18.
7th inning at Wrigley. The new pitcher for the Cubs is former White Sox Scott Air, and he will face Paul Konerko, pinch hitting for Javier Vasquez. So both starters go 6 innings. A look at Air's numbers. He pitched 1 inning in yesterday's game.
He's done a really nice job for the Cubbies and really keeping the ball down.
First pinch hit appearance of the season for Konerko without the DH. Jim Thome getting a start at first base. And hit a 2-run shot back in the 5th inning, giving the White Sox the lead at the time, but the Cubs have come back on the Ramirez 3-run homer.
A little surprising to see Konerko leading off the inning. Usually you lead off innings with a little more of a speed player. Ozuna would probably be that guy, although yesterday he had to leave the ball game with a little bit of a hamstring.
The only other right-handed hitter available for the White Sox on their bench is the backup catcher, Chris Widger. They have a switch hitter and Alex Cintron available, and a couple of left-handers, Ross Blode and Rob Makoviak. But the Cubs brought in the left-hander Air, so Ozzie Guillen countered with Konerko.
The manager always has an option if he wants to double switch to keep Konerko in the ball game, although that would probably mean that Thome goes out.
Two and two on Konerko with Posednik waiting on deck. And then Iguchi. Cubs leading the White Sox 5-4.
Well, Konerko's a very professional hitter. He likes to pull early in the count and he likes to go to right field later on in the count. He's got a good eye. Chose to stay with the White Sox, and rightfully so, opposed to going to the Angels. Free agency. You like to see that.
Payoff pitch, well hit, deep center field. Pierre on the water track, watches it. It's out of here. A pinch hit home run. Number 20 of the season for Paul Konerko. We are tied at 5.
Well, that's what Ozzie had in mind when he sent Konerko up there. Forget the speed. Get the ball up in the air and get a quick run. But that pitch by Air had too much of the plate and was up in the zone.
And now Posednik with a shot. Deep right center. Off the ivy. A stand-up double for Scott Posednik.
But Baczynski doesn't waste any time here. Gets a breaking ball and really drives it. I thought for a second, with the wind blowing out, that one might just get out of here.
Pitching coach Larry Rothschild out to the mound. Scott Air on in relief of Greg Maddux has allowed a home run and a double. White Sox have tied the score, and they are threatening here in the 7th. Both starters went 6. Neither will be involved in the decision. Unless the White Sox can score another run in this inning, and then Vasquez could earn the win. Ramirez has driven in all 5 runs for the Cubs. Jim Thome a 2-run shot. 4 home runs in the game. Our game summary brought to you by Flomax. That home run by Konerko, the 4th pinch hit home run for the White Sox this season. In his first pinch hit at bat of the year. 1-0 to Iguchi, now 1-1.
And again, with 2 strikes, didn't try to pull the ball. He went with it.
2-1 on Iguchi. For Konerko, only the second pinch hit home run of his major league career. It was a big one, tying this game at 5. Jim Thome waiting on deck. He hit a 2-run shot off Maddox in the 5th inning. Greg Maddox allowed 2 home runs. He's now allowed 5 long balls over his last 2 starts. Span of 13 innings. The 3-1 to Iguchi. And his bunt right into the glove of the pitcher, Scott Air.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at his bunting there on a 3-1 count. Trying to advance the runner, obviously. Popped it up. Air came off the mound and made a nice play.
Now lefty against lefty. Thome against Air. Thome 0 for 6 lifetime against Scott Air. Ball 1. Take it back to the 5th inning. Off Greg Maddox. Thome's league-leading 26th home run of the season.
That reminded me of the home runs that Junior used to hit when I was with Seattle. High, towering fly balls that carried out of the ballpark.
Sure, that thought brought a smile to your face.
Sure did. Junior did that quite a bit. Yeah, I thought with a 3-1 count to Iguchi, they'd be a little more aggressive. The way the ball's flying out of here now, jumping. The fact that Thome struggled a little bit against Iyer.
One out, top of the 7th inning in a 5-5 game.
But the thought was good. The execution wasn't, Ken. Talking about the pop.
Now Air steps off. White Sox with 3 home runs today. In each of the last 3 innings, adding to their league-leading total, they now have 116. Only the Cincinnati Reds have hit more home runs in all of baseball. Check swing. Ball 2, says Mike Raleigh, the third base umpire. 2-1 on Thome.
He held up. Ball was just a little outside.
Time was called by the home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg prior to the pitch, and now Barrett heads out for a chat with Air.
Well, the White Sox are only behind, what, the Reds and the Phillies. Run scored via the home run ball, 2006.
Scored over 43% of their home runs, of their runs via the home run. Today, 80%. 4 of their 5 runs.
Well, they've got 4 very legit home run hitters in that lineup,
including the man at the plate, Jim Thome. The 2-1 from Air. Now 3-1. White Sox also the only team in baseball with 4 players who have at least 50 runs batted in. Look at the stat you just mentioned. 43% of their runs via the home run.
Well, when you can do that, you can score a run in bunches quickly. Well, Iyer doesn't give in here. Throws Thome a nice breaking ball down in the zone.
pitch. Bounce foul back behind first. Sednick, the runner on second. Leadoff home run hit by Konerko here in the 7th. Sednick double. Iguchi attempting to bunt. Popped one back to the pitcher, Air. And now a 3-2 count on Tomey. Sednick goes. Tomey strikes out. The throw is not in time. So now 2 outs, and Sednick has his 25th steal of the year.
Good pitch here by Air. He had Tomey looking for a breaking ball. He was late on that swing. You can see the catcher Barrett comes up throwing, and Ramirez does a nice job. That ball could have gone into left field.
Dusty Baker out to the mound. And we will see yet another former White Sox coming in from the Cubs pen, Bob Howry.
Better health. Sometimes it's in the genes, but as often as not, it's connected to the quality of the information you have at hand. And that's what makes WebMD America's most trusted health information source. It's a place where people find information they could never get their hands on before, where doctors discover new and better ways to care for their patients. A place where everyone can make the connection between better information and better health. WebMD.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
They should call me Mr. Points. I have so many. I just got upgraded.
They're the best. I got a cordless drill with some of my points.
Really?
Yeah.
I got these golf clubs.
Those are gorgeous.
They're made of gold.
Wow, that's terrific. I got a unicycle for my son.
Oh, yeah?
So much fun.
What is he, a clown or something?
I hope so.
Yeah. Good for him.
I don't have any points, so.
That makes it harder to redeem them.
It sure does. I'm thinking about getting a 10-gallon hat. Maybe some nunchucks.
Goodyear knows you're not the only one who depends on your tires. That's why there's the Goodyear Wrangler with silent armor technology. It's engineered with a layer made with Kevlar for toughness and a quieter ride. The Goodyear Wrangler with silent armor technology, so you can be there on the wings of Goodyear.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? Wait up, no single! Get some more meat!
Strike one to Jermaine Dye. Bob Howry, the 3rd Cubs pitcher. Former White Sox, saved 28 games on the South Side back in '99. Runner on 3rd, Sednick, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning in a tie game. Jermaine Dye is 1 for 3. Way outside, 1-1.
Yeah, Harry's got a good 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, good hard slider. He comes at you. About a strikeout per inning pitch.
Bounce foul back behind 3rd. 1-2 on the reigning World Series most valuable player, Jermaine Dye. Batting .309 this season. 3 for 13 lifetime against Howry. The 1-2, just missing inside.
Well, with 2 strikes, Dye is trying to protect the outer part of the plate, and Howie really throws a good hard fastball. Just barely misses.
And 2-2 in the dirt. Blocked by Barrett. Full count. With A.J. Pierzynski waiting on deck should Jermaine Dye reach. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. So Dye heads down to first, and the White Sox now have runners on the corners with 2 out. As we check in once again with Jeannie Zalasko.
Well, from the Subway Series, Randy Johnson has given up 15 home runs on the season. Oh, Kevin Kennedy, hand me the eraser. I have to update that stat. Eli Romero to left and out. 8-2 Mets, top 6.
Wow, Randy's still in the game despite trailing 7-2. It is now 8-2. Eli Marrero recently acquired from Colorado in the Kaz Matsui deal. A.J. Pierzynski, first and third, 2 outs. Popped up to the left side. Will it be playable? Yes, caught in foul territory by Aramis Ramirez. White Sox strand 2, but they tie the score on the Canerco home run. 7th inning stretch time in Chicago.
Here's to men. To guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
This is Duralast, the alternator built to exceed the need. Built with the technology to withstand high electrical demands. Get the alternator built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Another day, another billion in big business loans.
Yeah, sir, there's something on your shoe. Good morning. If I could just have a minute of your time. We'll see that my business is strong profit. We're playing it to double or...
Give me a pencil.
My legs for the last 2 days. What's he want? A loan or something? Hey, oh! Look, he's got a business plan.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Attention, the GMC 72-hour sale is now in effect.
The GMC 72-hour sale. During the Great American Holiday, get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2006. It only happens once a year, and it happens fast. Claim yours before someone else does.
Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by Flomax, by Holiday Inn, the official hotel of Major League Baseball, and by GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade. Cubs and White Sox tied at 5, bottom of the 7th inning. The new pitcher for the White Sox, David Risky, acquired 2 weeks ago from the Boston Red Sox, making his 7th appearance with the White Sox. And the first pitch from Risky, strike 1 to Derek Lee.
Well, Cliff Polite had this role last year for the White Sox, has struggled this year. The White Sox picked up Risky.
Now it's interesting, you look at pitcher-batter matchups. Risky has faced Derek Lee only once, and Lee homered. How much did you take the previous matchups into account when you managed?
I like history. Certainly.
Is one at bat enough history?
No, not at all. But you got 15 or 20 at bats. Gives you a pretty good indication. of how well the hitter sees the ball or not sees the ball off a particular pitcher.
Risky in relief of Vasquez, and Konerko, as you saw, remained in the game at first base, replacing Tomey. Double switch here in the National League Park. Derek Lee with a couple of hits today, and Aramis Ramirez on deck. All he needs is a single for the cycle.
He's had a big day offensively. Well, we talked about when Konerko led off that he possibly would stay in the ball game as part of a double switch. Improves the defense over at first base, and he'll get an at bat for sure in the 9th inning.
1-2 to Lee. He's now 1 for 2 against Risky. 1 home run, 1 strikeout.
Good pitch by Risky.
Time now for the Holiday Inn Look Again play of the game, brought to you by Holiday Inn, the official hotel of Major League Baseball, and we will show you 3 plays, the 3 Ramirez hits. 2-run double in the first inning. A triple down the right field line in the 3rd, and a 3-run homer in the 5th. Driving in all 5 Cubs runs today.
The triple was the one that's hard for Ramirez to get.
You think he's thinking about the cycle here, or just thinking about getting on base?
I think he's thinking of getting one in the air again and doing what he did last time. That's hitting one out of the ballpark.
Only 6 Cubs have hit for the cycle in the last 50 years. The last man to do it, Mark Grace, in 1993 against the Padres. Only Jose Reyes of the Mets has hit for the cycle this year.
I saw that ball game.
In person?
No, on television.
Well, you may witness a cycle in person here, should Ramirez single. Pops it up to the left side. Preedy and Uribe both calling for it, and now Uribe calls off Preedy and makes the catch. So Ramirez retired for the first time today. Two outs. And now Jacques Jones will step in against Risky.
Well, Jones got off to a slow start this year, but he's really picked it up here since about the middle of May. A little adjustment to National League pitching.
Spent his entire career in the American League, 7 years in Minnesota. Nothing in 1. The White Sox starter Javier Vasquez went 6, allowed 5 runs on 11 hits. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 1 home run. Neither starter will be involved in the decision, so Vasquez will remain at 8 and 4. Maddox at 7 and 8. One and 1 on Jones. Singled in the first. He's 1 for 3. Looking ahead, the White Sox have Preedy, Uribe, and Anderson due up in the 8th. Preedy homered his last time up, bringing the White Sox within 1, and then Konerko tied it with a home run of his own in the 7th inning. 1-2. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both managers now into their bullpens. David Risky struck out Derek Lee. Aramis Ramirez popped out. And now a 2-2 count on Jacques Jones. And Jones hits it in the air. Deep right center. Will it carry? Yes. Home run number 14, Jacques Jones, and the Cubs are back on top.
Well, with the wind blowing out, you're getting exactly what you expect here in Wrigley. And that's some offensive fireworks. Good hitting by Jones. Well, Risky knew that that ball was out of the ballpark once it left Jones's bat. So did Dusty.
Fifth home run of the game. White Sox have hit 3, the Cubs 2. All since the 5th inning. For the Cubs, who came into the game with only 65 home runs, second lowest total in the major leagues, have hit 2 big ones. The 3-run shot in the 5th inning, Aramis Ramirez, and now Jacques Jones has given the Cubs the lead in the 7th. For Jacques Jones, Lou, that is his 20th career home run against the White Sox, more than he has hit against any other opponent.
Well, playing in that American League Central, he's certainly going to be facing the White Sox a lot more than other teams.
Gavin with a line drive caught by Uribe to end the inning. The Cubs back out on top. Home run number 14 for Jones. 6-5 Cubs.
Attention, the GMC 72-hour sale is now in effect.
The GMC 72-hour sale. During the Great American Holiday, get 0% financing for 72 months on almost every 2006. It only happens once a year, and it happens fast. Claim yours before someone else does.
And as you'll see from our third quarter earnings, our performance is on the rise.
That's amazing. He didn't even flinch. Yeah, typical cage fighter. What? He does this as a sideline. He'd rather be gouging somebody in the eye or putting his knee in somebody's kidney. Dead? Yeah, he has a bumper sticker that says, "I'd rather have you in a chokehold." He's like 5'7". He's a bad man.
Are you getting enough fiber? Goodyear's new Eagle Response Edge gives you more of what you crave. The added performance of carbon fiber. A carbon fiber reinforced sidewall creates added stability for sharp maneuvering and a better feel for the road, while a shock-absorbing insulator delivers a smooth, quiet ride. The new Goodyear Eagle Response Edge. Getting your fiber has never been so fun. Innovation on the wings of Goodyear.
Hey, Rod, if you're interested, there's a future for you in the beverage distribution industry.
Baby Ruth is the candy bar for baseball guys. Guys who like peanuts, nougat, and caramel every bit as much as a grand slam. And if you're a woman who likes that stuff, want to go to a ball game? Baby Ruth from Nestle, official candy bar of Major League Baseball.
5 home runs in the game, accounting for 8 of the 11 runs. Cubs leading the White Sox 6-5. Ball 1 to Joe Creedy, who has 2 hits today, including a solo home run his last time up in the 6th. White Sox lead the season series 3-1. They took 2 of 3 from the Cubs in May at U.S. Cellular Field, won yesterday's game here 6-2. Take you back to the 6th inning off Greg Maddux. Joe Creedy, number 15. Jim Thome also went deep for the White Sox in the 5th inning, and Paul Konerko in the 7th. They've homered in 3 consecutive innings. Lowry catching the outside corner, 2-1. Creedy, Uribe, and Anderson due up here in the 8th. Angel Pagan has replaced Phil Nevin in left field for the Cubs. Grady with his third hit of the game as he singles to left. Time now for our Pepsi double play with Juan Uribe at the plate. 2 on, 1 out in the second inning. And Uribe grounds into the 4-6-3 double play. One of 2 key double plays turned by the Cubs today. Log on to foxsports.com and check out the Pepsi double play game. And here's Uribe at the plate with the runner on first and nobody out. Following his 5 RBI game yesterday, he is 0 for 3. And the bunt dropping foul. As 3 Cubs converged, but it dropped in between, and Uribe stays alive.
Ball was just placed where nobody could catch it, but I'm surprised the White Sox are bunting here. And the reason I say that, the wind blowing out, ball's carrying.
Uribe has been hot, 5 home runs his last 14 games.
Yeah, usually on the road you don't play for a tie.
Uribe 0 for 5 lifetime against Howry, who looks greedy back to first.
But one thing about it, a manager knows his team better than anybody else, and Ozzie certainly knows his players very well.
Fastball in for a strike. 0-2. White Sox looking up at the Tigers. 2.5 game lead in the American League Central. Detroit will be in action tonight in Pittsburgh, sending 7-game winner Jeremy Bonderman to the mound. 0-2 to Uribe, fouled back to the screen. As we mentioned during our open, the White Sox have gone 16-4 over their last 20, yet they have lost a game in the standings because the Tigers have won 17 of 20.
The Tigers just played great baseball.
Just ask the St. Louis Cardinals, who recently went 0-6 against the White Sox and the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a tough stretch for St. Louis. They lost a tough ball game again last night to Kansas City.
Even the Minnesota Twins 11 out. They have the 6th best record in baseball. The Tigers, the White Sox, and Twins with 3 of the top 6 records in all of baseball.
Minnesota's won, what, 8 in a row?
Uribe held up 1-2. And Minnesota 8 straight wins, 28-10 at home. 8 games over 500. Yet they are in 3rd place, 11 behind the Tigers, 8.5 behind the White Sox.
Yeah, they've got some catching up to do.
Oh, the 1-2 hits Uribe. So the White Sox with runners on first and second and nobody out.
Well, the catcher Barrett is sitting inside. The ball gets away from Howard. That's something you don't want to see. The bunt's in order now with Anderson. Pinerco stayed in the ball game, hitting in that 9th hole.
Anderson with only 1 sacrifice this year.
And when you're hitting 177, you should be able to execute the bunt play here and advance the runners.
Brady on second, Uribe first. Corner infielders in on the edge of the grass as Anderson steps in against Howry. Lee creeping in. Anderson's bunt is caught by the catcher, Michael Barrett.
Well, Anderson is trying to get this ball over to the third baseman, which is the right thing to do, but as you can see, he doesn't get the barrel of the bat in front of his hands and pops the ball up. Catcher Barrett makes a nice play.
Second time the White Sox have popped out on a bunt attempt in the last 2 innings.
Yeah, you can see that the barrel of the bat is not ahead of the hands. A good high fastball by the pitcher, and that's what you really want to see your pitcher do in that situation. Anderson pops the ball up.
The White Sox, Lou, now 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Here's Konerko on the number 9 spot. Pinch hit for air in the 7th. And hit his second career pinch hit home run.
Well, we talked about the White Sox scoring, what, 43% of their runs via the home run ball. And to win these close ball games really helps when you can execute and help yourself.
Home run number 20 off the bat of Konerko. That tied the game at 5, and then the Cubs in the bottom half received a solo shot from John Jones. And the Cubs lead 6-5. Howery ahead in the count, 0-2. Konerko 3 for 6 lifetime against Howery. Sednick on deck. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Entertaining ball game here in Chicago. The 0-2 missing away. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. New bat for Pasednik. To the left side. There's 1, 2. 6-4-3, the third double play turned by the Cubs today.
I was just getting to the good part when Uncle Ernie dropped his tons. I'd seen that look before. It was heartburn. Before you could say duck sauce, I was there with my Pepsid Complete. I told him only Pepsid Complete starts to neutralize acid on contact and keeps heartburn from coming back all day or all night. In no time, Uncle Ernie was in Mushu heaven, and I had my eye on the spicy dumpling. Pepsid Complete, just one and heartburn's done.
How do we know you spend more time behind the wheel than you want? And that often, what really needs refueling is you. How do we know you like fast better than slow? And that a friendly place to stop along the way can make a big difference in your life? How do we know? It's really very simple. The human touch and 1,000 other things you need. We're Exxon. We're mobile. We're drivers too.
What would it take to keep your personal financial information safe? A ferocious guard dog? A great white shark? A man-eating tiger? Any of them will do thanks to Bank of America's Site Key. Just choose a picture and title. We'll show them to you when you sign on, so you know you're securely on our site, not some look-alike. So if you'll feel safer, protected by a fearsome grizzly bear, we've got you covered. Open a checking account and experience higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? Wait up, no single! Get some more meat down here, now! Okay.
New BK Stacker, meat and cheese, stacked high, tough guy.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Pepsi Complete. Turn a fast and long-lasting double play against heartburn. By Mobile Clean 5000, seriously tough oil. By Little Man, starring Marlon Wayans and Sean Wayans, in theaters July 14th. And by Bank of America, keep the change only from Bank of America. Bottom of the 8th inning on an 85-degree afternoon in Chicago. Michael Barrett leading off against David Risky. Deep center field, Anderson, warning track, one away. So now Ronnie Cedeno will step in. For those of you in Twins territory, you're in for a very special treat later this afternoon as FSN North presents Operation Home Base. Special coverage of the Twins-Brewers game that will honor the U.S. military serving in Iraq. Join the FSN North reporting team embedded with the Minnesota National Guard as they bring a little slice of home and encouragement through our troops. Strike 1-2, Cedeno. Lou, you mentioned the Twins. They've won 8 in a row. Former Twin Jock Jones with the big blow for the Cubs. Solo home run in the 7th inning, which has given the Cubs a 1-run advantage.
Well, Minnesota got off to a little bit of a slow start.
Now Cedeno pops it up. Canerco makes the catch for the 2nd out.
And lately, their two left-handers, Santana and Liriano, have really been pitching well, and the Twins have been playing well.
John Mabry will pinch hit for the pitcher, Howry. Mabry is 5 for 27 as a pinch hitter this season, batting .218 overall. 12-year veteran. Spent much of his career with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, John goes up there hacking. He likes that fastball.
You had him in Seattle back in '99.
Well, when you come off the bench, pinch hit, you don't want that pitcher to get ahead of you. You get a good pitch, you get after it.
Ryan Dempster with 12 saves this season, up in the Cubs pen. Top of the order due up for the White Sox in the 9th. Pasednik, Iguchi, and then the pitcher spot. White Sox trailing 6-5, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning.
Mabry's a little bit behind Risky's fastball. It's not easy being a pinch hitter.
Payoff pitch to Mabry, ball 4. So the Cubs with a 2-out base runner. Well, coming up a week from Tuesday, baseball's greatest players gather in the Steel City for one spectacular night. It's the 77th Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Ozzie Guillen will be there managing the American League as they go for their 9th consecutive All-Star Game victory. Of course, a tie in the mix as well. Tuesday, July 11th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Fox.
You know you make me wanna take my heels off.
Officers, drink?
You make me wanna lift my head.
Drinking water gives you more energy, so you can have more fun. So make your body happy. Drink more water, like new Aquafina Sparkling, bursting with natural flavors. For a tongue-tingling taste and 0 calories, try Aquafina Sparkling.
Introducing the miracle of fusion, a revolutionary technology and a unique idea come together to create new Gillette Fusion. Until now, pressure caused irritation. Fusion has 5 blades spaced closer together to reduce pressure with less irritation and more comfort. Flip Fusion over. A precision trimmer for those tricky places. The comfort of 5 blades, the precision of 1. The best shave ever in manual or battery power. New Gillette Fusion.
Here's to men, to guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. To learn more, call 866-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Welcome to the Stackers Union, kid. We build stacks of meat and cheese. Hey, what's this? Clean up those singles! Get some more meat down here now! Okay.
New BK Stacker, meat and cheese, stacked high, tough guy.
2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Neil Kontz into pitch. New first baseman is Ross Glode. Double switch because the pitcher spot is due up third for the White Sox. Pierre on the first pitch from Kontz. Pops out to Uribe. We head to the 9th. Pasednik, Aguchi, and Glode with the White Sox trailing by a run. Dempster getting ready.
Subway Dinner Theater presents The Beast Within. A stomach studied in London. And now for dinner, Subway restaurants.
And the new Tuscan chicken, hot and fresh from the oven. Tender chicken, melted cheese, grilled vegetables on freshly baked bread.
Subway, eat fresh.
Another day, another billion in big business loans.
Sir, there's something on your shoe. Good morning. If I could just have a minute of your time, we'll see that my business is a profit. We're planning to double our...
Give me a pencil.
My legs for the last 2 days. What's he want? A loan or something? Hey, oh! Look, he's got a business plan.
Does your bank think small about your small business? Call Capital One instead for no-hassle business loans, lines of credit, and credit cards.
Hello, Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
The roaming gnome, enforcer of the Travelocity Guarantee.
Uh-oh, all is not well. I must tell them. Good morning.
Hello. Speaking?
So, you're calling to help me rebook? Because the hotel pool's under construction?
Oh, dear.
Wow.
The Travelocity Guarantee. Looking out for you even before you go.
Ooh, tingly.
Okay, yeah, throw it to me. I'm gonna be wide open.
The world of light beer.
Woo! Yeah! You were open and now you are closed.
Just got a little darker. Introducing new Michelob Ultra Amber. With its deep amber color and full flavored taste, it's the new look of light beer.
No free pass, baby. Ooh, late hit.
This is Duralast, the battery built to exceed the need. Engineered with all the cranking power you need for extreme conditions. Get the battery built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Ryan Dempster, the Cubs closer, 12 saves, although he has blown 4 of his last 9 chances. Facing the top of the White Sox order, ball 1 to Scott Pasednik. Quick reminder for our viewers here in Chicago as we check out Dempster's numbers. Immediately after the game, keep it right here on Fox. Corey McFerrin, Jill Carlson, and former Cub Ron Coomer will have full post-game coverage of today's game right here on Fox Chicago. 2-0 on Pasednik. 5 runs, 13 hits, 1 error for the White Sox. 6 runs, 12 hits for the Cubs.
Well, Dempster has been struggling with his command a little bit lately. Ball 3. And certainly you don't want to put opposing hitters on via bases on balls late in the ball game.
Three and one. Ball strike, full count. Payoff pitch, Pasednik shoots this one into left. Pregame makes the catch, one away.
Well, Dempster fell behind, but Pasednik 3-0, made 3 good pitches. Got Pasednik to fly out the left.
So now Tadahito Iguchi 1 for 4, popped out attempting to bunt his last time up. Today's game produced by Carol Langley McDermott, directed by John Moore. The associate director, Kathy Hunt, broadcast associate Darren Foster, our technical producer, Craig Marlowe. Marty Aronoff and Christine Charbonneau with us in the booth. The coordinating producer of the studio is Scott Ackerson. Pregame directed by Bob Levy, produced by Gary Lang. Studio associate director is Stephanie Medina, along with James Crittenden. Studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons. Highlight supervisor is Janice Casaza. Iguchi, nice play by Ramirez. 2 away. The vice president of field operations, Joey Steinberg. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. Executive producers of Fox Sports, David Hill and Ed Gorin. Our Chevrolet player of the game with 5 runs batted in for the Cubs is third baseman Aramis Ramirez. A double, a triple, and a home run. 5 runs batted in recognition of his outstanding play. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Chevy, an American Revolution. White Sox down to their final out. Ross Glode, 0 for 8. This season as a pinch hitter, came on defensively in the last half inning, but batting for the first time. Takes a called strike.
I'll tell you, if he wants a bunt here with 2 strikes, Ramirez has given him a base hit over at third base. Playing awfully deep. It would give Dye an opportunity.
One and one. Glode overall batting .264. No home runs, 6 runs batted in.
See Ramirez playing way back.
Glode has never faced Dempster. Cubs 1 strike away. Ross Glode, a former Cub. His 3rd season with the White Sox. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Dempster delivers. Up the middle, off the mound, and it gets by Cedeno. He tried to barehand it. So Glode extends the inning and the ball game.
Well, here's a ground ball that bounces off of Dempster's glove. Cedeno has no choice but to try to barehand that play. To do or die. But it does give Dye an opportunity here.
An infield hit for Glode. So Jermaine Dye with 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. White Sox trailing by a run. Strike 1. Dye is 0 for 1 lifetime against Ryan Dempster. 5 home runs in the game. White Sox have hit 3 of the 5, but they trail by a run. 1-1. $41,027 on hand. And most of them are standing. Cubs fans hoping Dempster can close things out. White Sox fans hoping Dye can extend the inning. Two and one. Should Dye reach base, guess who is on deck? A.J. Pierzynski.
Well, Dye's looking for something here that he can pull and get up in the air.
Inside of the knees, 3-1.
Dusty says, darn.
Ball four, says first base umpire Jerry Meals, and the White Sox now have two base runners. After retiring Posednik and Iguchi, Dempster got Glode to hit it on the ground, but it was hard hit off the pitcher's mound. Could not be handled by the shortstop Cedeno. An infield hit for Glode, and now a walk to Jermaine Dye, first and second, with the White Sox trailing by a run down to their final out. A.J. Pierzynski at the plate.
When you're struggling, it's hard to get that 27th out. Two quick outs, a little harmless ground ball that Dempster couldn't come up with. And now you got yourself in trouble. Pierzynski swinging the bat well today, too.
Couple of base hits. On the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Potential tying run is on second. Ross Glode. Jermaine Dye takes his lead off first. The 0-1 to Pierzynski, 1-1. The much talked about handshake in the outfield prior to the game yesterday with Cubs catcher Michael Barrett, who returned from his 10-game suspension for punching Pierzynski. Approaching Pierzynski prior to the game. And now Pierzynski with two outs, top of the ninth. Well hit, right field. White Sox take the lead. A.J. Pierzynski says, take that, Cubs fans.
This was just a low breaking ball, and he knew he hit it out. Just clutch hitting by Pierzynski.
That shot of the dugout pretty much epitomizes this Cubs season.
Yeah, it tells it all. It really does. They get two quick outs. That's the beauty about this game, is that you need 27 outs.
And now some of the Cubs fans showing their frustrations. A.J. Pierzynski hits his 5th home run of the season, with the White Sox down to their final out. Dempster retired the first 2 White Sox hitters of the inning. Gload reached on an infield single. Guy walked. And then Pierzynski with a 3-run shot, the 4th White Sox home run of this game. 4 home runs hit by the White Sox in the last 5 innings.
Well, they're a home run hitting ball club, and they're certainly proving it here today. I'll tell you what, these fans have showered this ballpark with debris all over it. It'll take a while for the grounds crew to clean this place up. But what clutch hitting.
And of course, it's probably less than 1% of the fans who are throwing stuff on the field, but you know, they'll give the entire Cubs portion of this crowd a bad name.
Yeah, these are good fans. There's no question. They're frustrated.
Yeah, no reason for this, though.
No reason at all.
So the cleanup crew doing their part. White Sox with an 8-6 lead, top of the 9th.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie.
So I got a promotion. Wow.
Hey, big office?
At Bank of America, you'll find our managers out front in the lobby.
Mm-hmm. Pretty big.
Does it have a window?
Huge.
There to assist you with your needs and get you on your way.
Manager? Just be careful you don't lose touch with your customers.
Wouldn't worry about that one, Dad. Hang there.
Expert personal attention. Another example of higher standards in checking, only from Bank of America.
I am sitting on top of the world, just rolling along, just rolling along. Go get him, Billy.
The 2006 All-Star Game, July 11th, live from Pittsburgh.
Well, A.J. Pierzynski in the middle of all the controversy during the first series between these clubs back in May, on the receiving end of the punch from Michael Barrett. Top of the 9th, 2 outs, 3-run homer, giving the White Sox an 8-6 lead. We mentioned Dempster had blown 4 of his last 9 save opportunities, make it 5 of 10.
I think that 6.53 ERA says it all.
The home run, only the 3rd allowed by Dempster in 35 1/3 innings.
Well, the walk that preceded it kept the inning alive, and that's been his problem. His command.
We finally continue as Joe Brady steps in, swinging at the first pitch. And this one stays in the ballpark in the glove of Pierre. We move to the bottom of the 9th. Walker, Lee, and Ramirez due up.
I think it happens to a lot of guys over 50. See, I was always going during the movies and hating to stand up, going during a presentation and hating to stand out.
For you this afternoon.
And once I got there, I had trouble going, and I was going 3 times a night. I said to my doctor, I have a going problem. He said, you have a growing problem. It's not your bladder. Your prostate is growing. See, I had an enlarging prostate. My doctor prescribed Avodart.
Most medicines only treat symptoms. Avodart, with time, actually shrinks the prostate and improves urinary symptoms.
So I can go more easily when I need to go. and go less often.
Only your doctor can tell if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not a more serious condition such as prostate cancer, so have regular prostate exams. Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to the risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely, sexual side effects, tenderness, or swelling of the breast can occur. Call your doctor today. Avodart for your growing problem.
911. It's my wife. Please help me.
When a scandal becomes a headline.
Kevin loved his wife. He did not kill her.
When the world is watching.
I am not going to let them convict you for something you didn't do.
Meet the best defense money can buy.
You're sure Kevin's innocent?
Does it matter to you if he is?
From acclaimed producer Jerry Bruckheimer.
I didn't kill her. I can't prove this. I can't prove anything, but I didn't do this.
Justice, a new series coming Wednesdays, Fox Fall.
Tommy powers the White Sox against the Red Sox. Fox Saturday Baseball next week.
What a turn of events. White Sox were down to their final out. No base runners. And then glowed with the infield single, the walk to die. And that man, A.J. Pierzynski, a 3-run home run off Ryan Dempster. White Sox had trailed 6-5. They now lead 8-6. And Bobby Jenks, who is tied for the American League lead with 24 saves with Jonathan Papelbon of Boston, will try and close things out now here in the bottom of the ninth for the White Sox.
Yeah, and where Dempster for the Cubs has struggled as of late, Jenks has been on a roll.
Double switch made by Ozzie Guillen. New right fielder for the White Sox is Rob McCobiak. Todd Walker leading off for the Cubs. Walker is 1 for 4. There's McCobiak in right. How about Neil Kotz? He threw 1 pitch in the 8th inning, and he is the pitcher of record in line for the victory for the White Sox.
Get himself a win. Jenks can hold on. Well, Jenks is one of the hardest throwers in the American League. He gets that fastball up there in the high 90s, and occasionally he gets it up there in 3 digits. Got a good curveball.
Jenks saved 6 games for the White Sox last season. Inherited the closer's role this year. And Ozzie Guillen said Jenks will go to Pittsburgh with him for the All-Star game in just over a week. They are in the 9th inning at Yankee Stadium. Mets with an 8-3 lead. Astros beat the Rangers 7-0. 2-2 the count on Walker leading off for the Cubs in the bottom of the 9th. Anderson coming on, 1 away. White Sox have scored their last 7 runs via the long ball. Scored their first run back in the 3rd, an RBI ground out by Pasetnik, but their last 7 runs, 2-run homer by Tomey in the 5th, solo shots, Freedy in the 6th, Konerko in the 7th pinch hitting, and then Pierzynski with 2 on in the 9th. Derek Lee, 2 for 4. He struck out twice. 1-1.
Well, the Cubs need a base runner. Get that tying run up the home plate.
A 1-2 on Lee. The man on deck. Ramirez has driven in 5 of the 6 Cubs runs. The other coming on a Jacques Jones home run in the 7th, which gave the Cubs the lead. Curve is in for a called strike.
And there's that curveball that we're talking about. Now, he threw a couple fastballs by Lee, and here he throws a curveball that just rolls off the table. just froze Lee.
So Lee strikes out for the third time today, and now the Cubs are down to their final out. Ramirez, double, triple, home run. Popped to short his last time up. Fastball, catching the outside corner, 0-1.
Boy, Jenks is throwing the ball with authority and with confidence.
And you look around, listen to the crowd, you would think we're on the south side right now. Right back to the box. Jenks to first, and the White Sox win it. They come from behind. A.J. Pierzynski, a 3-run home run with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. And the White Sox take their second in a row in this series. Pulled to within 2 games of the Tigers, who will play tonight in Pittsburgh. 4 White Sox home runs. Pierzynski with the biggest blow. And they win it by the score of 8-6. Neil Kotz threw 1 pitch. He picks up his first win of the season. Ryan Dempster the loss. Bobby Jenks, his league-leading 25th save. So the White Sox win it for Ozzie 8-6 here at Wrigley. Promotional considerations paid for by tonight on Fox, NASCAR, the Pepsi 400 at 7:30 Eastern. Major League Baseball on Fox 1 week from today. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. For more information on today's game and for the latest on Major League Baseball, log on to foxsports.com, powered by MSN. 6 home runs in the game, 4 hit by the White Sox. They win at 8-6. For Lou Piniella, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Wrigley. You've been watching Fox Sports, your home for the 2006 Major League Baseball All-Star Game.
The chase for the Cup accelerates into prime time. The world's top drivers brave NASCAR's most legendary track for the summer's biggest race. Live from Daytona. Tonight, the Pepsi 400 in HD on Fox.